On day 1, I was created in an experiment as a diamond minion. Alongside of me were 6 other minions, each representing a different ore.
Hello, my newest little creations. You mineral minions are very special and serve under me.
Anything for you, boss. Just then, bursting in the laboratory, entered in Maxime Lamal.
Finally, I found your secret hideout. I will destroy you and everything you own to show this world that I am the strongest supervillain it's ever seen!
His evil bots began to rampage throughout the lab and destroy everything they could. No! Minions all around tried to defend Gru, but they were all getting overpowered.
We've been compromised and are all in danger. You are the only ones capable of stopping this.
As he said this, Maxime sent a missile right at us, separating the two of us. Gru!
Little one, escape now!
On day 2, I narrowly escaped our hidden lab and made it above ground. No, he has my master. I have to save Gru and stop whatever he's planning. Wait, a banana? I completely forgot what I was thinking about and went to go pick it up.
Hey, George, someone's stealing our banana!
Huh? I turned to see I was now in the middle of a beach town with a bunch of advanced monkeys everywhere.
This little monster's messing with the modern monkeys? Huh, hand over the banana!
No. All the monkeys then snapped their heads towards me. Oh no. Ah! I was running for my life while the monkeys were all trying to take me down. They all had banana weapons, and others had full-on cars?
You ain't getting away that easy, punk!
Okay, stop. Look, we can talk this out and...
Hey, what is he saying? Who cares?
He then drove in towards me. Ah! Out of panic, I accidentally blasted out Diamond and upgraded his car?
Whoa, sick upgrade! This guy could be useful.
He signaled the other monkeys, and within seconds, I was captured inside of a banana cage. No, stop it! But I was shot by a banana dart, and my vision went blurry. On day 3, I awoke and was in the center of a beach-like celebration. The modern monkeys were all around, celebrating.
That minion there's gonna make us rich! I mean, look at that banana!
I looked up to see in the ruckus, I had turned a banana into Diamond. I must have it! In my excitement, I burst through the cage. Banana! I ran through the panicked monkeys and ate the diamond banana. Because of this, I grew larger in size. I now had 10 hearts and felt way stronger. Oh, yeah.
No! Stop our moneymaker!
All the monkeys charged in again, but I had a new chomping ability. Ha ha! They tried to shoot bananas and hurt me every chance they could, but I just kept eating through all of their hits. Yeah, keep feeding me. I chomped at one of the monkeys, which caused all of them to panic.
This minion is a madman! Everyone banana split!
All of the monkeys got in their cars and drove off. Huh, looks like diamonds make me stronger. Now, off to find Gru. I collected some of the bananas and left to search for my master. But just then, a strange device crash landed in front of me. Whoa. The screen turned on, and on it was Gru.
Diamond Minion! I do not have much time to talk. Maxime Lamal has captured me.
What do I do?
You must find the other 6 mineral minions. Only together can you form a team like no other and stop him. Please, hurry before it's too late.
Oh no! Just then... Wait, the golden minion! I made my way over to him, but he wasn't there. After looking around, I found a gold path leading right to a dance club? Ooh, music. I danced my way over to it and followed the gold path. Once inside, I saw that there was a dance party. In the midst of the crowd was the golden minion. Woohoo! time! I boogied my way over to him, but something was off.
Dance must dance!
After looking around, I realized everyone was being mind controlled. Whoa! I gotta snap out of it. Musical notes were filling the air, and I barely was able to make it off of the dance floor. Okay, I gotta shut this music off.
Someone escaped my trap.
Huh? I looked, and there at the DJ setup was the supervillain, Balthazar.
I have mastered the art of mind control. Those who enter my club are now mine!
No way! I began to make my way towards the main stage, but Balthazar began to dance. His dance moves and his guitar skills caused the players all around me to follow his command.
Boogie with us!
Yeah! Stop it!
Someone can't handle the party. Ooh.
I was dodging the charging players left and right, and with one final chomp, I ate through the entire DJ setup. Because of this, the music shut off, and all of the dancers were freed.
No, 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 no!
Everyone around was now enraged and chased Balthazar out of the building.
No one makes me boogie and gets away with it!
Hello! Tu sabada!
I'm glad I finally found you. Come on, let's get out of here. The two of us united and left the club. We wandered throughout the forest until finding a nice hidden clearing.
Whoa!
That's right. Time to create a new secret base. On day 6, we got to work and began to build our very own Minion HQ. I took the time to put bananas throughout and afterwards built myself my very own diamond minion home. Perfect! I turned to see that the gold minion did the exact same thing. Just then, loud stomping began to fill the air. Wow! What is that? I followed after the noise and was shocked. In front of me was another mineral minion, but he was huge and rampaging through a village. No, stop it! Stop! I tried to reason with the netherite minion, but he was just having too much fun. This isn't fun! None of this is fun!
Fozo!
Huh? I turned to see Gru's daughter Agnes hiding in the destruction. Agnes!
This minion must have found a growth ray gun. There's no reasoning with him unless we shrink him back down.
But where would we find one?
Here, come with me.
Agnes took charge until we made it to a pier carnival? Whoa, games!
Focus. You see that game over there?
I looked over and saw one of the games had a strange looking gun as a prize.
It's a shrink ray.
The two of us made it over to the game.
Ah, here to win this special ray gun, are ya? Well, in order to do that, you gotta win my game.
Bring it! The game runner brought me to the start of an intricate course, leading all the way to a shiny bell.
If you can complete this course and ring that bell within 60 seconds, then that ray gun is all yours. Begin!
I began to partake in his game. In it were different obstacles and jumps, but I knew I had to do whatever it took to get that gun. And more importantly, the bell was shiny. Must ring! I was making great time when, out of nowhere, the game runner queued for a bunch of carnival golems to enter my path. Uh-oh. They began to charge at me, trying their best to stop me.
15 seconds left.
No! Something boiled within me, and I blasted out diamonds all around. Oh, cool! The golems were thrown off, and I made a run straight for the bell. On day 8, I rang the bell just in time.
What? You actually did it.
Yeah, I did.
That means give us the prize.
Together, we walked back over to the entrance, and he handed me over the ray gun. Yes, the shrink ray. Time to test this bad boy on that minion. We both made it back over to the village, but it was an absolute mess. Villagers were all around, hiding in the rubble. Please help us! us. We even tried to make him a banana statue as a peace offering, but he just ate it. I would have done the same, but I'll help. Agnes and I made it back to the large netherite minion who was playing with the villager. Make it stop! Hey, you! The minion finally took notice of us.
The shrink ray. Use it now.
It's time to shrink you down. Here goes nothing! Wait, I thought this was a shrink ray!
Uh-oh.
Ah! The large netherite minion was now focusing on us, trying to stomp us with each step.
Small like ant.
We aren't ants! We aren't ants! We made it to the edge of the village. And there, on the blacksmithing house, was a diamond launcher. Whoa. On days 9 to 10, the netherite minion was blasting down explosions all around us. Here goes nothing. With no other option, I ran over and picked up the blacksmith's diamond launcher. Because of this, I began to grow stronger once again. I now had 15 hearts and had a diamond launcher hat. With it, I can shoot out explosive diamond missiles. Sick. The netherite minion was closing in and was about to stomp us. But with my new ability, I was able to blast him back.
Ouchie!
Yeah, take that!
Look, the gun was set to fart mode. Here, try it now.
I took back the gun from Agnes and shot it at the netherite minion. Because of this, he began to shrink and shrink until finally he was back to normal size.
Ah, boo!
Finally! Look, Gru needs our help. We all have to work together and unite the mineral minions to save him. Are you in? The netherite minion was excited to hear that and happily joined my team. Come on. With that, the three of us left. Wait, is no one gonna fix our village? Oh. On days 11 to 12, I brought Agnes and the netherite minion back to base with me. We immediately got to work and built up the netherite minion his very own netherite themed home.
Ooh, Sabada home!
Afterwards, I decided to make Agnes her very own unicorn themed house as well.
It's so fluffy!
Just then,
No! Bozo! No!
huh? What's going on?
Bad guy! Evil! Finobada!
I followed where the gold minion pointed off to until reaching destruction. There, in the midst of everything, was Maxime Lemal. He and his mechs were causing mayhem.
Oh, scary!
My power grows by the day. When my creation is finished, I will have an invincible suit of armor. Everyone will be forced to bow down to me.
With that, him and his army left. The gold minion and I went over to investigate and found a note on the floor. Wait, it's just a picture of Candy?
Ooh, candy? Candy!
He ran off. Wait, get back here. On days 13 to 14, the gold minion was losing it until we made it to a small modern town. It wasn't long until the minion sniffed out a vending machine, and stuck inside of it was the Lapis minion.
Hello!
What are you doing stuck in there? The two of us tried our best to get him out, but the machine didn't budge.
Zap?
What do you mean? Without answering, the gold minion took my shrink ray from me and immediately zapped me. Wah!
What are you thinking? I'm tiny!
I realized though, because of my new size, I could fit inside of the vending machine. Oh, okay. Time to push him free. Hang on. I began to explore throughout the vending machine until making it up behind his slot. I tried my best to push, but alone, I couldn't do it.
Looks like someone needs a boost in energy.
Huh? I turned to see a little ant inside with me.
You wanna free your friend? Then I'm your guy.
The ants brought me all the way to the corner of the vending machine, where all of his people made their own makeshift home. We kept traveling until entering a storage room, and there was a lot of candy.
I got a candy here that'll give you a sugary boost, but only if you do something for us first.
On days 15 to 16, the ant and I made it back behind the minion in the vending machine.
Remember our deal, pal. Eat this.
He threw me over the candy, and I immediately devoured it. Because of this, I felt nothing but energy. The sugar, it's making me crazy. Woohoo! I began to jump and run around like crazy.
Do it now.
Listening to the ants, I charged with all my energy right into the slot and successfully pushed the minion out. Not only that, but all of the candy began to fall as well.
Oh, yeah. The rest of the delicious candy is all ours, baby.
With that, we successfully made it out of the vending machine, and I was returned back to normal size. Man, what a rush!
Thank you. You, Diamond, the tea.
There's another diamond item here? Where? The Lapis minion brought me throughout the town until we arrived at a laboratory with Gru's sidekick, Dr. Nefario.
My goodness! The mineral minions? You guys are still alive?
Yeah, we are.
You are Diamond? Here, Gru made this just for you.
Nefario presented to me diamond goggles. Whoa. I was about to grab them, but all of a sudden, an evil minion burst through the room and took them for himself. What?
Me, evil. He's mine.
On days 17 to 18, the newly upgraded evil minion was rampaging through the town. He used the diamond goggles to shoot out diamond beams everywhere. After our village got destroyed, it's nice to move somewhere nice and peaceful. Ah! Seriously? Hey, stop it! The evil minion was causing nothing but destruction, but was cut off by the golden lapis minion.
Bye.
Together, the three of us began to fight against the evil minion. Although he had my powerful diamond goggles, the lapis and gold minion had their own unique powers, which helped counter him. All of us united really made us unstoppable, and we were able to knock the diamond goggles off of him.
No fair.
Whoa, Gru was right. We do make a great team. With that, I picked up the diamond goggles, causing me to upgrade again. I now had 20 hearts and had very powerful diamond goggles that can shoot out powerful beams. Sweet. On days 19 to 21, I made it back to base with my minion friends. Together, we all built up our newest team member, his very own Lapis HQ.
Oh, thank you.
Afterwards, we made a lab for Dr. Nefario so that he can have a safe place to stay as well.
I know Gru and I have had our ups and downs, but I hope he's okay.
Me too. I then went over and built up an all-black themed house for Gru. When we save you, now you'll have a place to rest. Just then, beeping went off in our HQ like crazy.
I've got something on my radar just south of here.
I listened to him and began to explore outside of our home. I made it all the way into a Badlands area, but there was nothing. Must have been a false alarm. Just then, scary soldiers dropped all around me. I took a look around and saw that I was surrounded.
Another mineral minion. You're coming with us.
On days 22 to 26, I was brought into a secret underground facility. Inside of it were secret agents everywhere. Whoa.
Great to finally meet you. It looks like we found another one.
Another one? I looked over to see there as well was the Emerald Minion. Hey, another mineral minion. I went over and saw he was inside of a planning room.
We know of Maxime Lamal and want to help you guys stop him. You guys are our only chance. He's working on making technology so strong that nothing in this world would be able to put up a fight.
I looked in their planning room and saw they were looking at a mansion. Inside of it were cages that were full of other minions.
In order for you to successfully take down Maxime, you'll need an army, and all of them have been captured. So, with the help of the Emerald Minion, it's time to break them out and get them back.
Oh yeah! What do? The agent brought us over to a machine. The Emerald Minion and I entered inside, and once we stepped out, we were both fully dressed in agent outfits. This is what I'm talking about.
Operation Minion Heist has begun.
On days 27 to 29, the two of us were sneaking around, avoiding all of the mansion's guards. It wasn't long until we saw in the mansion was a party? Rich guests were all around, looking at our caged minions for amusement.
Very strange. And yellow.
What?
Okay, we gotta find a way to disable their cages. I turned to see that the Emerald Minion was walking around, joining the party. Hey, focus, what are you doing? I pushed him out of the way right before he was caught. If they find us, they'll put us in cages too. I looked forward to see we were now in an extremely secured hallway with the red lasers all throughout. And at the end of it was a vault. Whoa, whatever's in there must be valuable. Maybe it's the key to unlocking those cages. Come on. The two of us were like ninjas, experts in our craft. We were dodging the red lasers like they were nothing. Ha ha! Being an agent is sick. We were about to make it, but a guard dog spotted us. Oh no. Good boy. The dog didn't like us though, and purposefully set off the alarm. Oh no. A couple guards began to flood the hallways, and the two of us made a break for the vault. Thankfully for us, we made it inside just in time. On days 30 to 32, once inside the vault, I saw that the machine controlling the cages was at the top. I break that, I break them free. I was about to begin, but...
Two little rodents breaking into my mansion?
Oh, dude, it's just an old lady. The lady got angry, and within seconds, her wheelchair upgraded into something much worse.
My name is Granny Sue, and you two are in big trouble.
The old lady began to ride her wheelchair right at us. Wah! She did everything she could to try to run us over, but we were both dodging out of the way. I gotta break that machine! I began to partake in the parkour, making jump after jump.
Doggy, attack!
The dog chased after me though. Oh no, stay away! Thankfully though, the Emerald Minion had unique abilities of his own and began to counter against Granny Sue. With my partner helping me, I was able to make it to the machine and chomp it in half.
Freedom!
On days 33 to 35, the minions were rampaging through the mansion, destroying everything. The rich guests were in pure panic, and all began to leave.
Banana! Banana!
Every man for himself!
I looked over to the left of the machine, and there I saw diamond fists. Whoa! I picked them up, and because of this, I had upgraded. I was now a stronger diamond minion with 25 hearts, and I now had very large, deadly diamond fists that could slam into the ground. Oh yeah! With them, I jumped into the fight and used them to hit Granny Sue's wheelchair.
This isn't over, you animals!
Granny Sue then left. Whoa, we did it! Hey, thanks for the help.
Best friends.
Yeah, the two of us made it back to where the party was, and we're all united with our fellow minion army. Come on, everyone, let's go home. On days 36 to 39, I made it back to HQ with the whole army of minions. I quickly went to work, building them up extra rooms to stay in. All right, everyone, eat up!
Banana! Banana!
I'm glad you like your gift. I then looked over to see that the Emerald Minion had made himself a nice emerald home while I was busy. Great job, partner. From there, I decided to build up my house and add some more high-tech screens. Man, I can't wait for the boss to see all of this. He's gonna love it.
Hey, I think you'll want to take a look at this.
What are you talking about? Agnes threw me over a flyer?
Buenos dias, my friend. Yes, all villains are invited to the El Macho Grand Prix, your one and only chance to win macho prizes from my personal vault.
Huh, this might be worth looking into. But then, a sudden explosion went off outside of our base. What was that? I ran towards the noise, only to see the redstone minion was under attack by Maxime Lamal's robots. Hold on, I'm coming! On days 40 to 44, I was about to run in and fight off the robots when the minion turned around and, in a panic, shot out a crazy redstone beam. Whoa! His attack tore through the robots, taking most of them down.
Pito?
The remaining robots rushed in, so I jumped in the way and used my diamond fists to finish the job. Seems like I got here just in time. That attack you got there was super powerful.
Atipiki.
You can't control it? That's okay. We can work on it together. Just then, some reckless players nearly ran us over with their race cars. Hey, watch it!
Out of the way, little dudes!
Come on, man. We're gonna be late to the race. Right, the El Macho Grand Prix. The redstone minion and I followed after the players until we reached a large racetrack. And there in the center was the one and only El Macho.
Hola, friends! Soon my race will be underway. But first, to show you what you all came here for, the prize? A brand new shiny diamond car!
Another diamond item. We gotta get in this race. Wait, but we don't have a car.
Me.
You can make us one? Sweet. All right, what do you need? On days 45 to 47, the other minion and I went out in search of materials for our race car. We mined some wood and then went underground to quickly get some iron. Look there. That should be enough. Now, let me just...
Kakapi.
Okay, the minion quickly shot out his laser, breaking the ore. But because he couldn't control his attack, the roof started to break. Watch out! We both barely jumped out of the way as the tunnel caved in. Really?
Sorry.
It's all right. Let's just find another way out of here. Oh no, that can't be good. We began to sneak down the tunnels, looking for any way out, when we found a lush cave. And there, an exit! But as we ran for it, a T-Rex blocked our path? Hey, aren't you supposed to be extinct? I should not have said that. Run! On days 48 to 52, the T-Rex started to chase us around the cave. I was trying everything I could to slow him down, but he just kept running through my attacks. Ah! The dinosaur bit down at me again and pushed me into a corner. Ah! I was already low on hearts, and it was running in for another hit. No! Suddenly, the redstone minion unleashed another beam, hitting it directly. Wow, thanks. I then had an idea. Hey, remember what happened before? Hit the ceiling. The minion did as I said, hitting the area right above the T-Rex, which caused the cave to collapse right on top of it. Yes! All right, let's get out of here. We finally made it out of the caves and hurried back to the racetrack. Once there, the minion quickly built us a car for the race. I cannot wait to see what this looks like. Wait, dude, I thought you said you could make a race car.
All right, my friends. Time to line up at the starting line.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll make it work. On days 53 to 56, the redstone minion and I rode up to the starting line.
Oh, dude, look at these little guys.
Chill, dude. What losers? Okay, just calm down. They're just trying to get in our heads.
Start your engines!
This is not gonna go well.
And begin!
The players and other cars sped right past us. They were clearly much faster. No, we gotta win this. We quickly made it to the first turn, only to see a large jump. Haha, eat my DOS, loser. Ah! Oh no! Got any ideas? The minion turned around and shot out his laser directly behind us, which gave us a boost of speed. Woohoo! Because of our speed, even after we landed, we began to pass the other cars.
Hey, what the?
We made it around the final turn, and there was the finish line, with only one more person in front of us.
Oh, no, you don't.
On days 57 to 59, we were racing towards the finish line when the player cut us off. Hey!
I heard you like bananas, right? Take this!
Our car hit the banana peel, causing it to spin out of control. Yeah! Come on!
Losers!
The player was about to cross the finish line when El Macho jumped in and hit him out of his car.
Oh, what gives?
We may be villains here, amigo, but there will be no cheating in my race.
Forget that, dude. I'm not leaving here without my new set of wheels.
The player then pulled out a crazy weapon and started to attack El Macho. His attacks were keeping the villain at bay and dealing tons of damage. Hey, knock it off! I ran in and began to fight alongside El Macho. He was finally able to get in close enough and hit the player, which gave me enough time to use my shrink ray.
Showman, this is embarrassing!
Thank you, little minion Azul. It seems you are the last racer standing, and hereby the winner!
Yeah, I went over and grabbed the diamond car, causing me to upgrade again. I became even stronger with 5 more hearts and the ability to use the diamond car whenever I pleased. This is awesome! On days 60 to 63, I returned to HQ with the Redstone Minion in my new ride. Woohoo! Sick, right? Okay, let's get you settled in. I took the time to build up the Redstone Minion his very own redstone house, filled with things to tinker with. There you go.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. I then took a moment to look over our entire Minion HQ. I know the boss is gonna be so proud of us. I just hope he's okay. I need to find him before Maxime finishes his plan. As I said this, one of the screens in my house was hacked. Wait, Vector?
Get vectored! Haha! You should have seen the look on your stupid faces.
What does this guy want? We don't have time to deal with you.
Be quiet, I'm trying to brag. And I can't understand you anyways. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah! Get a load of this!
Vector stepped aside to reveal a chicken?
What? Oh, sorry, wrong camera angle. Aha!
Wait, the Obsidian Minion! What?
That's right, I have your little friend here. And I want you to stop trying to take down Maxime.
He's my rival now, and after I get him, I'll be the most feared supervillain.
So lay off! It's Vector time, baby!
Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Ikakapolo.
What? You tracked his location through the call? Nice work. Show me the coordinates. On days 64 to 68, I quickly followed Vector's coordinates until I found his giant blimp. How am I supposed to get up there? I looked around until I saw a nearby station with airships. I'm so excited! First, my village was destroyed, then my town home, but now I can finally just get away and relax! Yes! Yes! Bingo! I ran over and started to run through the line. I'm not waiting through that. It wasn't long until I made it to the front, but...
Whoa, 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 little guy! Can't you read the sign?
Huh? Humans only? Are you serious? Maybe they wouldn't need a sign if you didn't cut the line! You dumb minion thing, I hate you! Okay, jeez. I went around the corner and thought for a second. Aha! An idea sparked, which made me call back to my HQ. Hey, I need 2 of you over here now. I have an idea.
Smelly.
Shh! Just act natural! In my new disguise, I made my way to the ticket salesman once again.
Hey, I recognize you!
No?
You're probably right. Here's your ticket.
On days 69 to 73, we successfully made it inside of the station in our disguise. Nice work, everyone. Now, how are we gonna do this? I looked around the station until I saw that one. It's perfect, but I'm gonna need a little distraction.
Pero,
Aw, aren't you too cute?
yeah, so, abi kabarag ko to, yeah.
I can't understand a word you're... Hey, wait a second! How did you get in here? Huh? Wait!
Thanks for the new ride! Later! I took off instantly, flying off towards Vector's blimp. Thanks, guys!
Tumakso!
Vector, you've really outdone yourself this time.
Wait, what is that? Shoot it! Shoot him down!
Because Vector was alerted, he activated his blimp's turrets? Oh no. They began to shoot rockets right at me as I tried my best to dodge them. Whoa, whoa! I made it above the blimp just as another rocket came right towards me. Here goes nothing! Ah! Phew, that was close. On days 74 to 77, I made my way inside of Vector's blimp.
Men, do not let that minion near his friend or my secret weapon.
Secret weapon? What is he talking about? Just then, a group of Vector's robots came around the corner.
Must eliminate.
Oh no. I began to run throughout the hallways as the robots chased me behind and shot out crazy bolts of electricity. I quickly ducked into a room where there was a large engine powering the entire blimp. Huh, interesting. The bots came rushing in though and began to attack. I used my gadgets to fight back, taking out a few at a time when their attacks hit the engine and started to break it. Wait a second. Hey, you crazy robots. You want me? Then hit me.
Must eliminate.
They began to fire more and more attacks at me that would miss and hit the engine. And because of this, it's gonna blow! I quickly ran out of the room as the engine exploded.
Mayday, mayday! We're going down!
My head. I looked up to see I barely survived the crash. I was extremely low on hearts. Maybe that wasn't my best idea. But then I heard someone calling out to me.
Hello, Pinoaka!
The last mineral minion. I ran towards their voice and saw that their cage had protected them from the crash. Come on, let's get you out of here. But as I approached his cage, I was blasted back by a freezing attack. Yeah! I looked over and saw Vector standing on the wreckage with a freeze ray.
Oh, you've really done it now! I'm glad I grabbed my secret weapon before you could destroy it in that little stunt you pulled. And now, I'm going to destroy you!
No! But before Vector could blast me again, the obsidian minion burst out of his cage to save me.
Hi?
The minion hit him back, sending him flying with his super strength.
Namatu, alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Oh, you'll pay for that!
All right then, let's do this. On days 81 to 85, we began to fight as Vector shot out blast after blast. I shot back with all of my gadgets, and the obsidian minion tried to get in close. But as he did, Vector blasted him with the freeze ray, completely freezing him in ice. No!
See, I told you, nobody messes with Vector! I am the absolute bestest in the whole wide world, buddy!
Vector just kept blasting me wildly with attacks. The ray made me begin to slow down because of all the cold. But I knew I can't let the boss down. Take this! I launched a diamond torpedo right at Vector, making him dodge out of the way, which broke the minion free.
You missed! It's time to get Vector! Why am I feeling a strange sense of deja vu?
The obsidian minion hit Vector again, finally taking him down. Yes, nice work.
diamond too.
I went over to the wreckage where the minion pointed and saw a diamond mech? No way! This is sick! I jumped into the mech, causing me to upgrade one final time. I now had 35 hearts and felt so much more powerful. Awesome!
Patue ba?
Now it's time to go save the boss. On days 86 to 90, the Obsidian Minion and I were hurrying back to HQ when we came across Maxime Lamal and his robot army. What are they doing?
Well, it seems my plans have finally come together. Thanks to the efforts of every single one of you, I will become the most powerful villain in the world! Ha 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 ha!
More like the most annoying villain.
What did you say?
Maxime turned around to show Gru stuck in a cage. Boss!
I said you're the most annoying villain. You just wait. My minions are going to be here any second.
Oh, well then, I'll be ready for them. Bring up the mech!
Suddenly, the ground behind Gru's cage started to open up, and rising up from below was a large villainous mech.
Oh, shiny.
Stop! We're done for if we get caught without the others.
Let's see if your little worthless henchmen are even worth the dirt I walk on. Maybe they already gave up and ran far, far away.
No, not my minions. They will save me. I know it.
That's right, boss. We're coming. And with the whole army, too. On days 91 to 94, the Obsidian and I hurried back to HQ and gathered up the entire minion army.
Do you have a plan, Diamond Minion? We need to act fast!
I'm scared. I want Gru back.
Kakono, Mimak. What do I pen?
Okay, focus, everyone. I know we're all scared for the boss, but right now, he needs us to be brave. We're gonna take down Maxime and save Gru. And this is how we're gonna do it. Mineral Minions, you're with me. And Minion Army?
Banana?
Oh, it's gonna be a lot better than that. On days 95 to 99, the other Mineral Minions and I marched up towards Maxime's base.
Oh, well, what do we have here? The little brats are resilient.
Shut it, Maxime. We're here to take you down and save our boss.
Aw, guys.
Oh, how heartwarming. Now, it's time to die.
On Maxime's signal, all of the robots in the base ran in to attack. They charged in and began to blast at us with all kinds of deadly attacks. The Mineral Minions and I were surely going to be overrun until the ground began to shake as the army of minions came barreling in from the sides. Yeah! Because of their numbers, the robot army was being completely outnumbered.
No! That's it. Time to take matters into my own hands.
Maxime ran towards his fancy mech, finally leaving Gru's cage. Now's my chance. I need to get up there.
Alutita me.
The Obsidian Minion ran into the crowd of robots and started to push them out of the way, making a path to Gru. The other Mineral Minions helped out too and used their own crazy abilities to assist the Obsidian Minion.
Tukaba.
Thanks, guys! I was then finally able to jump up and run to Gru's cage. Boss!
Oh, my diamond minion. I can't explain how happy I am to see you.
Well, sorry to break up the family reunion.
We turned to see Maxime had fully activated the villainous mech. Oh no. On day 100, I tried to quickly open Gru's cage, but Maxime just shot it, knocking me back. Ah! No!
This power is like no other. You will all bow to me, the most powerful villain in the world!
Not if I have anything to say about it. We began to fight. Maxime's crazy mech launched volley after volley of attacks and even blasted rockets at me. I was doing the best I could though to dodge every hit he threw and used any chance I had to fire back at him. But his defenses were just too strong. Ah! Maxime charged in again and slammed me back with a powerful hit. I was now at extremely low hearts. I don't know if I can do this.
Oh no. Having second thoughts? Well, too bad. I have to make an example out of you. Goodbye, Diamond Minion.
Maxime started to charge a final attack, and I looked over to my friends and grew. No, I have to do this. I have to. I quickly ran up and used my Diamond Mech's powerful attacks to hit Maxime. I was finally beginning to overpower him, causing his mech to malfunction.
What? No! No!
I then stepped back and focused my powers on one final Diamond Blast, which took out Maxime Lamal for good. Yes, I did it! And with that, Gru and us minions could finally live in peace. On day 1, I was created in an experiment as Elemental Yarnaby. I was standing before my father as his latest creation yet.
Welcome to the Play Care, Yarnaby. With the help of these elemental yarns, you will be the strongest force this factory has ever seen.
Whoa! Anything to make you proud, Dad. Suddenly, the room shook as everything turned purple all around us. Eyes appeared all throughout the walls as the horrifying automated companion hacked inside.
I am the Playcare's strongest force, and with you under my control, I will be even stronger.
He began to unleash his ultimate power onto us. Not only did his grasp take away my elemental yarns, but one of his attacks critically hit my father, killing him. Dad, you'll pay for that.
Silence! You are mine!
He blasted towards me with his mind corruption powers, but I managed to slip away before they could hit.
You can run, but you can't hide!
On day 2, I was being chased through the halls by the companion. I was running faster than him. However, every corner I turned, other mini companions will be waiting for me, cutting me off. Seriously? This guy has eyes everywhere. I turned another corner, only to find a mysterious hole leading into the unknown.
Nowhere to go!
If I stayed put, I was surely not going to make it. So, without any options, I jumped inside. I fell deep below and landed in Playtime's playground. Thank goodness. Suddenly, a shimmer caught my eye. I turned to see in the playhouse was an elemental yarn. Nice! I went inside to get it, but as I did, whispers began to fill the air. Who's there? I turned around as a shadowy figure avoided my gaze. I don't have a good feeling about this.
You shouldn't.
In a matter of seconds, one of the nightmare critters, Baba Chops, dropped down, slicing me back. Yeah!
Ooh, doesn't this look special?
Hey, that's mine!
No, it's mine.
She quickly snagged it and ran out of the jumper house. Oh, no, you don't! On day 3, I trailed after the thief. She was quick on her feet and wouldn't give up.
Just give up already. I want it, so it's mine.
I knew deep down that it belonged to me. And because of this, anger built up within. My vision began to blur as my face split open. I bit at the black sheep, causing her to drop the fire yarn.
Ah!
With the yarn now on the ground, I quickly ran up to collect it. And as I did, I felt fire coursing through my very veins. A flame shot out and trailed through my body. I gained an additional 5 hearts and felt stronger than ever. Hey, these yarns do make me stronger. My celebration was cut short though, as Baba Chops whistled, signaling her other nightmare critters to run in all around me.
This toy is a freak.
Yeah, you just picked a fight with the wrong critters.
They all began to blast at me with gut-wrenching attacks, and within seconds, my vision faded. I woke up and saw that I was inside a playhouse graveyard. I was stuck in a glass cage as the rest of the nightmare critters were watching over me.
Time to teach this little rainbow punk a lesson.
She flipped the switch, activating a conveyor belt, sending me to my doom. On day 4, the conveyor belt was in full throttle, inching me closer to death. I gotta get out of here. Thanks to my feline agility, I began to maneuver past many obstacles that stood in my way, making it further and further from the grinder.
Huh? How's this possible?
I was about to make it to the exit until the entire room began to glitch out, and entering in once again was the companion.
He found us! Run!
Everyone began to run for their lives. However, one by one, most of them were brainwashed under his control.
No! All of my friends!
They all turned towards Baba, ready to claim her next. Oh no! I have to help her! I ran forward and jumped between the two of them.
What are you doing?
They charged in. However, as they did, a strange feeling burned within me. The flame on my body began to burn brighter than ever. My face split open into two, and this time, I blasted out spews of fire all around, pushing everyone back. Whoa, that won't hold them for long. Come on, we gotta go. With that, the two of us used this opening to run for our lives. On days 5 to 6, Baba Chops and I managed to escape the Nightmare Playhouse and safely made it to the Playcare's main courtyard. However, after entering, it was obvious things weren't normal. The automated companion clearly had full control over everything.
You helped me. Why?
The companion took someone away from me that I cared about too. So I'm gonna find a way to stop him.
You know, he's the strongest toy in the factory, right? It's impossible.
You're right. It is.
Without warning, one of the companion's corrupted toys dropped in the room and ambushed the two of us with his powerful abilities. I used my fire powers to try and fend him off, but he wasn't going down without a fight. He shot out corrupted tentacles from the ground, and it was obvious his power was growing by the second.
The companion has made the Playcare the way it needs to be. You will surrender like the useless toys before you.
I braced myself for death until Baba jumped in to slash him back, knocking him into rubble.
My friends weren't useless.
With this opening, I followed up. My instincts kicked in, causing me to let out an elemental burst I never had before. It took down the corrupted toy and transformed the once corrupted room back into its former glory. Whoa, my elements can counteract the companion's abilities? Then I'll just have to find the rest of the elemental yarns to reach my full potential and stop the companion once and for all. Baba was shocked at what I can do and joined my team. However, we didn't have a moment to celebrate though, because within seconds, Catnap's deadly red gas began to fill the room. What the? Red gas? That can't be good. We gotta go. On day 7, Baba Chops and I ran through the hallways as Catnap's red gas chased closely behind us. We turned the nearest corner, but unfortunately, we were cut off.
Oh no, Yarnaby, brace for impact!
The two of us were engulfed in the gas, causing the world around us to change. As everything cleared, I was now in a completely new area with countless pathways to go down. Baba, where are you?
You are all alone.
Oh no. Great. I began to navigate through the endless halls, searching for any way to break out of the hallucination. As I did though, deadly trap after deadly trap began to activate. And even though they weren't real, they still put a dent in my heart. Ah! This place is a death trap. I turned to the right and spotted a door I hadn't seen before. Once I went inside of it, I was able to find a large room with a rock stage in the middle. And there, imprisoned in a cage, was Catnap? Wait a minute. You're not the one hallucinating me?
No, it's something much worse.
I broke Catnap out of their cage, but as I did, the large Pianosaurus burst in from backstage. On day 8, the large Pianosaurus charged in and knocked both of us back. Yeah!
He's too strong. We need to break free from the hallucination. Follow me.
I followed after Catnap, and as we entered backstage, we found a large machine that was generating Catnap's powers. Hang on! I ran in and used my fire to bite into it, completely destroying it in a single gulp. Because of this, the world warped around the two of us again, and we both found ourselves in the middle of a storage room. So this is where we actually were.
Whoa, is that yours?
Huh? I turned around and saw there amongst all the boxes was another elemental yarn. As I saw this, Pianosaurus burst into the room, looking angrier than ever. Hold on! I ran forward and collected the earth yarn. Because of this, it began to stitch itself onto my body, causing me to gain 5 hearts. Yarn grew through my entire body, making me feel stronger than ever. Pianosaurus charged in to take us down, but with my new powers, I was able to control the world around me, which hurt him immensely. Because of this, it didn't stand a chance. Yeah, run away! I looked around and saw that Baba Chops was still nowhere to be found. Man, I hope she's okay.
Thank you so much for the help. That horrible dinosaur was draining me of my powers. If it weren't for you, I'd be gone.
Of course. I quickly caught up Catnap on my mission to take down the companion, and he had an idea.
Follow me.
On days 9 to 10, I went with Catnap as they brought me over to a large cave on the outskirts of the factory.
This place is just outside the reach of the companion. He won't be able to corrupt us here.
Well then, sounds like the perfect place to hide out. With that, we built ourselves some nice homes in the center of the cave. I built a nice yarn ball home and saw that Catnap had built themselves a house with a red smoke machine attached to it. Sweet. You're not planning to use that on me again, right?
No, we're a team now.
Good. Speaking of, I started to head back into the factory halls, looking for any sign of where Baba might be. Man, Baba, where are you? Just then, I started to hear a strange clinging sound from down the hall. Huh? I crept closer to it, only to find myself in a room with a large sewer pipe. Ugh, this place reeks. As I stepped closer to the pipe, the sound suddenly stopped. Hello? Who's in there? Suddenly, a small bunny toy dropped down behind me and slammed his cymbals together. Yeah! It knocked me back, causing me to fall down into the sewer pipe. On days 11 to 12, I fell deep down, and as I landed, I saw that I'd fallen right into the sewage system. Oh, come on! When I get my hands on that bunny, I'm gonna wipe that smile right off its face. I began to move through the water, looking for a way out, when I came across a cross section of the sewage, and at the top of the tall trash pile in the center was the water elemental yarn. Well, would you look at that? I looked around the water and saw that more piles of junk pushed up out of it. So I began to use them, leaping between the piles to slowly make my way to the top. All right, almost there. Finally, I was able to make the last jump to the yarn when suddenly a strange plant toy leapt up and grabbed it. Hey, what are you?
Shh, I'm sorry, okay? But I need this to escape from that thing.
From what? Before they could answer me though, the piles of junk began to shake as they were suddenly destroyed beneath us. Ah! What the heck? What was that? I looked over and saw that rising out of the water was another toy, but he was totally corrupted by the companion. On days 13 to 14, the corrupted toy began to rush towards me as I instinctively tried to attack back with my elements. What? My elements aren't purifying him. The toy came in and hit me back with a powerful attack, sending me back against the wall. Ah! I have to get stronger. I looked over and saw that the plant toy had swam to the side and started to run away. Hey, where are you going? I ran after them as the corrupted toy followed close behind.
Don't bring it this way, you idiot! He'll eat me in one bite!
I'm not going anywhere without that yarn. We continued to run, but as I turned to look, the corrupted toy wasn't behind me? Oh, well, I think we lost him.
Really? Why would he?
As he said this, the corrupted toy rushed in from another pipe, attacking the flower head on. Hold on! I used my earth element to block the tunnel and to stop him from attacking.
Phew! Thanks for the save, pal! A little reject toy like me could have never lived an attack from that thing!
Is that why you wanted the yarn? To defeat the toy?
Oh no! I could never! I need it for something else, and because you saved me, I'll show you!
I went with the plant toy as they led me through the sewers to another chamber. Water treatment?
Yep, and that door over there, it won't open until we get the water running again. So how about this? You help me open that sucker up, and then I'll gladly hand over your little yarn ball.
All right, deal. On days 15 to 16, the toy walked up to the control panel and placed the water yarn in it. Because of this, I heard a strange noise coming from a nearby hallway.
Yep, just as I expected. Go over there and see what's blocking the water.
On it, I went down to the side hallway and saw that down its length was a large open pipe, completely blocked up with sewage. So gross. I ran up and began to burn away all the junk with my fire, and it quickly started to break down the blockage. Haha! Gotta love elements. But before I could react, the water burst from the other side, carrying me down the pipe. Whoa! I was thrown into the main tub of water as it began to turn the mechanism to raise the door.
Hey, get out of there!
I looked over and saw that the water was pushing deadly blades to power the door, and one was heading right towards me. Oh no! I swam around as fast as I could to try and get out, but the water wasn't high enough yet. The blade caught up to me and slashed into me, dealing massive damage. What am I gonna do? Just before the blades could slash me again, I was suddenly pulled out. It was you. Thanks.
Only repaying the favor.
We both looked towards the door and saw they were about to fully open back up to the main levels of the factory. But before we can run to it, a wall burst open as the corrupted toy from before found us.
Playtime!
On days 17 to 18, we tried to make a break for the door, but the creature rushed in and bit into my friend, launching them back. Hey, stay away from her! I began to use all the elements I had against PJ, but it was still too strong.
You have to use the yarn! It's the only way to stop this thing! I'll hold him off!
Okay! While they began to fight, I rushed up the controls and grabbed the water elemental yarn. Because of this, I began to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts and now had full mastery over the water element. Yes! I looked over and saw that my friend was quickly losing the fight. So I jumped in and sent out a powerful water blast attack, which finally took out the corrupted toy once and for all. It worked.
But look!
We watched as, without the yarn, the water stopped flowing, causing the exit door to slam shut. Wait, I have an idea. I focused on my new water element and let out another blast right at the blades, causing them to spin again. This allowed the door to open just long enough for me and my friend to make it out, back into the upper levels of the factory. Haha!
No kidding! You were amazing back there! I'm gonna have to stick with you if I have any chance at surviving this place!
Well, turns out I have just the place for you to stay. On days 19 to 21, I brought my new friend back to my safe base. I quickly built them up a nice and clean flower pot house for them to stay in as well.
There's nothing like fresh soil! Thanks!
Of course. I then was heading over back to my house when I saw a strange note in my room. What's this?
Bring all of your elements to these coordinates, or you will never see your precious black sheep friend again!
Wait, the crazy bunny took Baba. I need to save her now. I followed the coordinates on the letter and found a room in the factory with a lone cage. Baba!
Wait, don't fall for it!
I didn't listen, and as I ran forward, Bunzo Bunny leapt down in front of me, and with another loud clash of his cymbals, I was pushed back.
Stupid toy! I can't believe you actually came! And now we get to play a little game to determine if your friend lives or dies!
Before I could react, the floor below me opened up, causing me to fall into a room full of TVs? What are you doing?
It's just a game, silly. All you have to do is jump on the platform that matches the color on the screen. If you manage not to fall, I'll hand Baba right back to you. But if you fail, I will be taking all of your elemental power.
Guess I don't have a choice, do I? All right, you're on. On days 22 to 26, Bunzo clashed his symbols together again as the screens around the room started to flash red. I jumped to the red platforms as shortly after, all the other ones disappeared. And I saw if I messed up this game, I was done for. I continued to play along as the game only got faster and faster, and I could barely keep up. Blah! I then looked up at the screens for the next color, but briefly saw something was wrong? What's going on?
Less talking, more jumping!
Just then, all the screens in the room turned black as the companion hacked into them.
I found you!
What the? Hey! We're in the middle of something here!
The companion was angry by his words as the screens let out a burst that corrupted the entire room. Oh no! I then looked over and watched as the room Bunzo was in was about to corrupt him completely.
Help!
Hold on! I quickly jumped up through the glass as I shot out my water element, completely purifying the room. Come on, we gotta get out of here now! On days 27 and 29, Bunzo and I escaped as he brought me back to where he was keeping Baba.
Golly, I didn't know the companion would go this far to take over the factory. I just wanted to have some fun.
It's okay, we're safe for now, but you have to let my friend go. We have to get away from here, quick. Bunzo agreed and released Baba from her cage.
What are you gonna do now?
Well, I need to find all of the other elemental yarn to put a stop to that monster. You can join us if you want.
Ha! I'll do you one better. Follow me.
I left with Bunzo as Baba made her way back to the base. He led me all the way to a massive open chamber, and across the room was the lightning elemental yarn. Sweet! I tried to run up to it, but as I did, a mass of webs suddenly shot out in front of me.
Oh, hello there. Have you two come to steal my precious yarn?
Mommy Longlegs, please, I need that yarn to save the factory.
I see. Well, I plan on leaving this wretched place behind me, but my train won't work without a battery. If you can get me one, then I'll gladly trade you for it.
Deal.
Good. There is one in a nearby obstacle course. Now go before I grow impatient.
I searched around the nearby halls until finding the obstacle course she was talking about. And across all of its electrified traps was a power battery. All right, here goes nothing. On days 30 to 32, I began to run through the course, but as I did, it suddenly began to activate. Like it knew I was here? Balls of lightning began to bounce around the pits, making them extremely deadly. And as I tried to cross them on the thin bars, lightning bolts started to shoot out of nowhere. Yeah! I was knocked off and was about to fall into the deadly pit. However, thanks to my earth element, I was able to save myself just in time. Looking up, I saw that the final obstacle were some high up platforms going around some exposed electrical wires. Wasn't this place made for kids? I quickly started to leap across, trying to time my jumps so I wouldn't be shocked. But as I went, one of the bursts hit me, stunning me in place. Ah! No! No! Suddenly, all of the power in the room was shut off. Huh? I looked towards the finish and saw that a strange doll had pulled the battery off of its pedestal. You saved me?
I sure did. The name's Poppy, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. But first, go get that yarn, and then come meet me in the lobby. You owe me.
All right, see you soon. I returned to the game station and handed over the battery to Mommy Longlegs.
Oh, perfect.
She placed it down inside of her train, causing it to turn back on. Nice. All right, can I get that yarn now?
Change of plans, sweetie.
Without any time to react, the spider toy spun around and covered me in webs. Hey!
I wish I could let you go, but I need protection to make sure I get out of here safe and sound. So you will be coming with me.
On days 33 to 35, I was placed in the back of the train car as we started to barrel down the tracks. No, I can't leave the factory. I have to stop the companion before he destroys everything.
That's not my problem, little one. Just sit tight.
She began to walk towards the front of the train as I heard someone behind me.
Over here!
Bunzo, how did you?
I knew this lady couldn't be trusted. Now hold on, I'll get you right out.
Bunzo came up and used his rabbit teeth to bite right through the webs, freeing me. Good job. Let's get out of here. We made a break for the window when it was suddenly covered in webs.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh, we were just going to get a better view of the window. She became furious and started to charge down the train car towards us. I rushed in and began to use all my elements to hold off Mommy Longlegs. Her massive spidery arms, though, were hard to dodge, but I knew I had to fight to save the factory. She tried to web me up again, but I bit into her, knocking her back. And there, in the front of the car, was the lightning yarn. I'll be taking this. She tried to stop me, but I was too fast and grabbed it. Because of this, I began to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts and had a powerful electric pulse I could shoot out through my yarn mane. Haha!
You little brat! You destroyed my train!
Oops. Well, this is our stop. I ran over as Bunzo and I leapt off of the train just as it sped away.
Well, at last she'll get out like she wanted.
Oh, about that. We should just go. On days 36 to 39, Bunzo and I made our way safely back to my base, where I saw that Baba Chops had made it as well.
Oh, thank goodness you two are all right. What happened?
Don't worry about it. Let's just focus on stopping the companion. From there, I helped Bunzo build up a perfect musical home for him to live in.
Thanks for a place to stay.
Of course, always willing to add more toys to the team. That reminds me, Poppy. I quickly set back out into the factory and headed towards the lobby where Poppy was waiting.
There you are. Okay, listen. I want to take down the companion too. If he rules this place, there's no telling what he'll do to all of us toys here.
All right, so what's your plan? Poppy led me over to another room where I could see a massive freezer with deadly traps. And deep inside of it was the ice elemental yarn. No way. Well, what are we waiting for?
Wait!
Poppy pushed me behind some cover as we watched a large human in a strange suit walking out of the freezer. He turned around and locked the doors behind him with a key. Hey! But she was too late. The player looked over towards us, where we were hiding.
Who's there?
He began to step closer, but suddenly, he was distracted by another toy.
Ugh, another defect. Ugh. Only 1,000 more of you to go.
What is his deal?
I don't know, but we need to get those keys from him to get that elemental yarn. Those walks are indestructible.
Huh, all right. I think I have an idea. On days 40 to 44, Poppy and I headed to a nearby storage room full of shells and plenty of places to hide. All right, you remember the plan?
Yep, here I go.
Poppy ran off into the hallway as I could hear her voice echo down the hall.
Oh, hello, sir. Do you want to play?
Get back here, you!
She came running into the room and jumped into a nearby box. The player then rushed in as well, ready to take her down as I began to sneak around the room.
Hey, where do you go? Huh? Who's there?
The player shot out one of his suit's arms, destroying a pile of boxes.
I've been waiting for a real challenge. Come and get me!
As the player turned around once more, I shot out my lightning element, shocking him through the shelves and stunning him. With this opening, I bit into the bottom of the shelf, causing it to collapse right on top of him. Ha ha!
Did you do it?
Yep. Now, let's grab those keys. But unfortunately, as we went to approach, the player erupted out of the rubble.
I won't go down so easily!
Poppy and I tried to rush in to take him down. But as we got close, the player hit the ground under our feet, causing us to fall below. On days 45 to 47, Poppy and I fell, but thankfully landed in some trash. Ah, no, that was our only chance to grab the keys.
You mean these?
Whoa, Never underestimate a toy. We started to walk towards the exit to the room when I felt something click beneath my feet. Uh-oh. With that, the exit to the room slammed shut as the walls slowly moved in. It's gonna crush us. What do we do?
There.
I looked over and saw that around the room were 3 safety levers. Those must shut it off. Hurry! We both ran around, trying to avoid the piles of trash as the walls closed in. We quickly both reached the first 2 and flipped them off. But the last one was all the way across the room.
We're not gonna make it.
Hold on! I used my earth element to create a beam to hold the walls back for as long as I could. I then ran across the room as my beam broke apart from the pressure. However, it gave me just enough time to reach the lever and turn it off as well. With that, the walls returned to normal and the exit door opened back up.
Okay, that was close.
Too close. Come on, let's go use that key. We made our way back to the deep freezer and used the key to open it right up.
My hair will freeze if I go in there.
It's all right. I got this. I sent Poppy back to my base as I headed into the deep freezer alone. On days 48 to 52, I began to cautiously sneak through the deep freezer as I saw clumps of ice all around. Wait, are those figures inside? Maybe this factory isn't what I thought it was. I went deeper in, and as I did, I saw that a large wall of ice separated me from the elemental yarn. Take this! I used my fire element and began to melt the wall down until I could pass through. Yeah! What was that? I turned around and saw that my fire had also caused all of the nearby figures to melt. Oh no! I tried to fight back against the horde, but the more I used my fire element, the more the rest began to thaw out. All right, I can't use fire in here. Got it. I began to use the other elements at my disposal. They were less effective, but because of my strength, I could still take on groups of them at a time. Ha ha! Take that! But as I was running around, a much larger figure crashed down in front of me. Whoa! He slammed into me, knocking me back. Looking over, I saw that there was a machine producing waves of frozen air to keep the freezer cold. I'm freezing up by the second. I need to stop it. On days 53 to 56, I rushed towards the ice machine, but when I got close, I felt a wave of cold air that started to slow me down. Because of this, the large zombie threw up a massive snowball that hit me head on, taking me down to low hearts. The horde of zombies could now easily catch up to me, and I thought I was done for when suddenly I started to hear a familiar sound. Oh no, the side walls burst open as the now corrupted Pianosaurus came charging into the room. No, the companion has taken him over too. The zombies quickly turned their attention onto the new threat, giving me an opening to run to the ice yarn. The moment I went to pick it up, I could feel myself begin to upgrade. I now had 30 hearts and complete mastery over the ice element. Awesome! Some of the zombies took notice and ran in to attack, but I used my new element to take them down easily. Haha! Take that! I looked over just in time to see that the corrupted Pianosaurus took down the main zombie. Hey there, buddy. Remember me? He began to charge at me in an all-out rage. So, with my ice element, I was able to make a wall between us. But he just charged right through it? I barely managed to get out of the way and saw that I was near the ice machine. Let's hope this works. I hit the ice machine with my fire, which caused it to let out a burst of heat, stunning the Pianosaurus. With him stunned in place, I had a chance to escape. On days 57 to 59, I was running for my life down the factory as the Pianosaurus chased after me. What has gotten into you?
Must destroy!
He would destroy everything in his path to get to me. And even with my new powers, I knew it wouldn't end well if he caught me. Unfortunately, I ran into a dead end. Oh no! I had no other choice but to turn into a fight. But as he was running right in towards me, I suddenly had an idea. Here goes nothing! I waited until the last possible moment and blasted the floor with my ice. as I dodge out of the way, causing him to slide past me and slam into the furnace in the room. It burst into flames, igniting the large toy, causing it to freak out. I followed up with my water element, hitting him with everything I had until eventually he was completely cured of his corruption.
What happened?
It's okay. You're safe now. But hurry. We should get out of here before... But the companion's massive eye appeared into the room.
You think you can escape me? Oh, you ignorant beast. I control everything!
From the eye shot out a crazy powerful attack that hit the two of us. Yeah! And because of this, I passed out. On days 60 to 63, I awoke to find myself in a strange other dimension. What the?
Finally, I've got you. Soon, my power will be too much for you to resist.
Not if I have anything to say about it. I began to run around as I noticed I had been placed in a giant maze. No, wait, Pianosaurus. He must be here too. Maybe if I find him, he can help me get out of here. But as I said this, corrupted tentacles and the companion's minions started to appear all around the maze. They ran in and did everything they could to try and slow me down. Oh, no, you don't. I began to use every element at my disposal, keeping them back and destroying them every chance I could. I ran until finally arriving at the last hall, where I could see across from a large gap was the center of the maze. And there was the Pianosaurus. Hold on, I'm coming! More minions came rushing in behind me. So I quickly used my ice element to make a bridge across the gap. And after I crossed, I used my earth element to erupt the bridge, killing the minions. Yes!
Please, hurry. I can feel him trying to take over again.
Me too. Just keep fighting it. But just then, a large screen in the room turned on to reveal the companion's eye. Stay away from us. I shot out at the screen, completely destroying it. But another one appeared as well. I angrily fired attack after attack, trying to destroy all the screens that would appear. But as I was distracted...
Look out!
Huh? The floor around me suddenly exploded as I was caught in a ball of gas. Because of this, I felt myself fall under and was beginning to be corrupted. On days 64 to 68, I was helpless against the companion's corruption. The gas was overwhelming me. No, I can't fall under its control.
No!
In a desperate rage, the Pianosaurus broke out of his cage and dashed over, pushing me out of the smoke. My vision began to blur as I watched him destroy the last of the screens in the maze. I suddenly woke up to find me and the Pianosaurus were back in the furnace room. Whoa, we did it. We escaped.
But this isn't over. The companion is still out there.
I know. Come on, let's get somewhere safe. With that, Pianosaurus joined my team, and we safely made it back to my base. I took the time to help him build up a nice keyboard stage so that he could finally rest.
Thank you. Sorry about before. I see now all us toys need to work together, but what are you gonna do now?
All I need to do is find the last elemental yarn. Then hopefully I can stop the companion once and for all.
Oh yes! The last elemental yarn. I saw it once. It resides in an office. The office of the founder of the entire factory.
Well then, I know exactly where I'm headed next. After getting some directions from Pianosaurus, I headed back out into the factory until finding myself in a strange, void-like chamber. Inside of it were conveyor belts. Huh, I guess the factory never stops. But as I said this, I felt the catwalk shake as a powerful blast of void energy struck it from below. Oh no! On days 69 to 73, as the catwalk started to be destroyed behind me, I ran through the chamber as I started to hear a voice ring out.
Yardaby, I have seen what you are doing.
This factory cannot be owned by another tyrant.
I know! That's why I'm trying to stop the companion! But as I said this, more blasts started to come up from the void below, breaking the catwalk in front of me. Yeah! I leapt between them, trying my best to stay ahead of the blasts, when I saw a door nearby. The office. It must be that way. I went towards it when I heard someone crying out. Huh? Looking back, I saw that a small ruined toy was stuck on one of the catwalks. It was about to fall into the void. I can do both. I can! I ran from the exit and headed towards the ruined toy. However, as I got close, the catwalk fully gave out from under them, causing him to fall. No! I shot out my eyes just in time to make a platform to save him. Ah, thank goodness. With that, I was able to jump down to the critter. Climb on! They did as I said, and hopped on my back. We barely managed to leap from my icy platform as another void blast destroyed it from below. Thankfully, we were finally able to make it through the far door and enter into a creepy office hallway. All right, you stay here. I'll come back for you, I promise. The toy agreed and hid away as I started to make my way to the office. On days 74 to 77, I cautiously crept down the hall, but as I came to the first turn, a tall void toy came out of a door in front of me. Huggy Wuggy? Ha! I've dealt with way stronger toys than you. I blasted at him with my elements, but he seemed to absorb them. Uh-oh. I began to run as Huggy chased after me down the hall. Why can't I find more nice toys in this place? More blasts of void energy were shooting out of nowhere, and ultimately, I found myself in an open room with a pit down into the unknown.
Now, jump!
What? I looked back and saw Huggy was about to catch up to me, and with no other choice, I leapt down into the hole. I looked at my new surroundings and saw that I'd fallen into the founder's office. Across from me on the desk was the final elemental yarn. Yes. However, before I could grab it, the void Huggy Wuggy fell down in front of me. Ah! Don't eat me!
Now, why would I do that?
Huh?
I am President Elliot Ludwig. I have been put into this toy to pay for what I've done. This factory, this entire company was made to give children joy, and I let it turn into a horror house.
It's okay. We can change it. All I need is that yarn.
I know, but for me to finally rest, I need one of my lost possessions. If you retrieve that for me, I'll give you the void yarn.
On days 78 to 80, President Ludwig sent me out to a vertical room with staircases sneaking down to the bottom. And there was the lost void videotape. I quickly descended down to the bottom and was able to pick up the item. However, as I did, I heard a strange clicking sound. What was that? I jumped up just in time as it started to fill up with lava? What the?
This is what you get for betraying me!
I gotta get out of here! I began to run up the stairs as the lava level rose up in the chamber. But then I was suddenly attacked from above as a clump of webs surrounded me, sticking me in place. Yeah! No! The lava was about to catch up to me, so I quickly shot out my water element, turning the top layer into obsidian. Whoa, I should have done that in the first place. Haha!
No! No! No!
I looked up to see Mommy Longlegs appear above me, and as she leapt down, I barely managed to escape her webs. Please, don't do this. If we work together, you can help me make the factory safe again.
No! You ruined my train! I'll never forgive you!
She came in to attack me once again. So, with no other choice, I struck her with my fire element, taking her down for good. I wish it didn't have to end this way. On days 81 to 85, I quickly made my way back to Ludwig's office to return the void tapes to him. Here you go.
Thank you, Yarnaby. You really are the savior of this factory.
With that, the founder allowed me to grab the last elemental yarn. And when I did, I felt all of my elements grow in strength. I now had 35 hearts and had full mastery over all of the elements. Awesome, thanks. Ludwig nodded as his void huggy wuggy body faded, finally freeing him from his curse.
Ow! Oh, there you are. Can we, leave this creepy place now?
You read my mind. The ruined critter and I started to head back to my base when we suddenly heard a loud noise of a large machine. What was that? On days 86 to 90, the ruined critter and I headed towards the noise as we saw that it was coming from a large hatch leading deep below the factory. And coming from it was none other than the companion himself.
My army! This entire factory is almost completely under our control. The only thing left is the heart of this place, the Plague Care. And when we corrupt it, no one and nothing in this world will be able to resist us.
As he said this, the companion sent out a wave of corrupted energy, completely covering the room.
And now, in the case of that annoying Yarnaby, I'm done playing with him. If you find him, spare nothing to make sure he's destroyed. His parts will rot in the bottom of this factory, like mine did.
With that, the companion and his army flooded out of the room, headed towards the center of the factory. He's only growing stronger with each place he takes. We have to stop them before they take over the Plague Care.
You can't fight them all on your own. You need help.
You're right. Come on. Time for you to meet my team. On days 91 to 94, I quickly made it back to my base and gathered all of my friends together.
What are we going to do? The companion is taking over everything, and before long,
It's all right, Baba. If any group is strong enough to stop him, it's this one. We all have reasons we want to fight. Bunzo, your games. Catnap, your gas. Pianosaurus, your...
I want to bash that little computer's brain in.
But it's a computer. Does it have a brain? Do I have a brain?
Look, this is our chance to save the factory. And as long as we stay together, we'll make the companion pay for what he's done.
Yeah! Let's do it!
With that, everyone went to prepare to fight, as I quickly made a nice playhouse home for the ruined critter I saved. Now, you stay here, and stay safe. We'll be back before you know it.
Hey, we're ready!
All right, it's time. On days 95 to 99, I arrived at the large Plague Care facility and looked around to see the companion and his army had already begun the takeover.
You're too late, Yarnaby. The factory is mine, and all of you pathetic toys will be under my control, starting with you!
He was about to blast down at me with a powerful attack when I shouted out, "Now!" Suddenly, a burst of red smoke covered the companion as all of my friends charged in.
Kill them! Tear them to pieces!
We all began to fight against the companion's minions and corrupting tentacles. Everyone was doing everything they could to take them down, and Pianosaurus let out a loud sonic boom, destroying a ton of them at once. Frustrated by our attack, the companion floated up and faced towards my friends.
I told you, fools! All of you will work for me!
In a crazy blast, he hit all of them with his corrupted power, trying to control them. No! I had to act fast and blasted them all with my elemental abilities, counteracting the corruption. Everyone, get out of here! With that, I was left to face the companion alone.
It really is a shame. We could have done so much together, you and I.
You mean you could have done so much by controlling my every move? Yeah, no thanks. My words angered the companion as he floated up and began to blast towards me. I ran around and tried to fight back, but he had flown up too far, completely avoiding my attacks. I looked over to the center of the area and saw a series of levers. What do those do? I made a break for the control panel, dodging the companion's attacks as I went. And when I turned it on, the artificial clouds in the room began to shift, making a way for me to go up and reach the companion's level. Ha ha!
No matter how hard you fight, you cannot defeat me.
I began to rush up and jump between the hanging clouds as his barrage of attacks shot down at me. As I got closer, he managed to hit me again, bringing me down to low hearts. Ah!
You are nothing but a toy, a puppet for me to pull the strings on.
I knew he was much stronger than me, but I thought back to my creator, the mentor I lost all of those days ago. No! He made me to be the strongest toy in this factory. I leapt up onto my ice wall and focused all of my power on my new void element, causing a storm of void yarn to rain down on top of the companion.
What? No!
He was sent crashing down to the ground as I finally defeated him. Yes, I did it! On day 1, I spawned in as a lion inside of my Savannah kingdom. All around me were tons of different animals living in harmony. I love my kingdom. Suddenly, a wave of dark essence flew throughout the area. I watched in horror as it corrupted the savannah, transforming all animals into mutated monsters. Ah! The essence hit me next. I grew larger in size and was transformed into a mutant lion. I feel strange. I went to check on the rest of the animals, but quickly discovered the mutations had altered some of their minds. Deadly mutant vultures flew throughout the skies, devouring any animal in a single gulp.
This new power, it's amazing. Eat up my birds. Eat them all.
The vulture then flew in and slashed me with its sharp talons. Ah! With no other choice, I ran for my life. On day 2, I was being chased by the deadly vultures. They were clearly too strong for me to handle, and I knew I have to hide. Thankfully, I was able to find a cave not too far. I made it inside and slashed at the rocks, causing the entire thing to collapse behind me. Whoa, seems like I've gotten stronger. How did all of this happen? I have to find out. I need to fix the savannah. Just then, I heard someone crying for help.
Help!
I looked outside, only to discover a baby elephant being attacked by a few mutated hyenas.
Shut it, crybaby!
Hey, leave her alone! I jumped into the battle and began to protect the innocent animal. While fighting against them, I had a great realization. Whoa, I have mutated powers now.
Time for backup!
I thought I was putting up a fight, but a large figure began to loom over me. And with one giant slash, I began to pass out. On day 3, I woke up, only to find myself trapped with the elephant. Where are we? After looking around, I saw the hyenas had captured us and brought us to their den.
Yep, we're done for. Yeah, you are. It's gonna be feasting time real soon, and our leader is hungry.
Oh no, we gotta get out of here. Come on. While the other hyenas were chewing away, I slashed out our cage, destroying it. We quickly snuck out and began to perform our getaway until...
Wait, look!
I looked over and discovered in their home was an orb that possessed the same dark magic from day 1. What the? What's that? Unfortunately, the hyenas spotted us.
What the? You little rats! You're not going anywhere! It's feasting time!
The doors in front of us began to open, and walking out from the skull was another hyena, but this one was way more mutated than the rest. Oh no. Run! On day 4, the two of us ran for our lives, while the giant hyena did everything it could to eat us. It was nothing like I'd ever seen before. He was large and possessed crazy, strong mutant powers.
Who's the big scary cat now?
My kingdom's counting on me. I gotta think. However, the giant hyena slashed at me and launched me right into the orb, destroying it. Its mutated essence absorbed into me. My claws grew sharper, as well as my entire body. I was now a stronger, mutated lion with 10 hearts.
What's happening?
I looked around and noticed all of the mutated hyenas began to turn back to normal. Their once large leader had lost all of its power.
This is awkward.
Destroying these orbs removes the mutations? Then I'll just have to destroy the rest to save the savannah. Unfortunately, I wasn't safe yet.
You think mutations will stop us? Get in!
One of them charged in, but in my newly upgraded form, I had the ability to summon mutated claws from the ground.
We were just joking, Your Royal Highness Lion, sir. Come on, scram!
That's right, and stay out.
Thank goodness I found you. My whole family turned into giant mutated beasts. I was lucky to even make it out alive.
I'm sorry, but if you help me, I'll do whatever I can to fix all of this. As we formed a new team, I noticed a strange gladiator watching us from the distance. We're being watched. Hurry, hide! We quickly hid behind some tall grass until the strange man began to leave the area.
That was close.
Yeah, it was. But why was he watching us? I better follow him. On day 5, I followed after the mysterious gladiator. After a lot of traveling, the two of us finally arrived at a large coliseum. There was mutant essence scattered all along it, and I knew another orb had to be here. Time to find it and destroy it. I stealthily entered inside. However, as I did, I was spotted.
Looks like we got another one.
He hit me with his spear, knocking me into the opening. Looking around, I saw up above was another mutated orb. Throughout the Colosseum, there was an entire show going down as other gladiators were fighting mutant giraffes.
Kill them!
Please, help! Hang on! I charged into battle to help my fellow animals. With a slash, I was able to take one of the men down. But as I did, the rest of them turned their attention towards me.
A mutant lion? Now that's gonna be a show!
With his command, cages fell over the giraffes, and all of the gladiators charged right at me. I tried my best to fight back against them, but with their large amount of numbers, their sharp spears were too much for me to handle. This can't be it. Suddenly, a mysterious hole blew open right next to me. What is this? They were all charging in to take me down. So with no other choice, I jumped. On day 6, I thought I was a goner until I landed in water. Phew.
You lucked out.
Huh? Looking up, I saw that it was a small group of creepers that had saved me. Thanks, but why did you help?
Because we hate those gladiators. You think they only hunt you animals down? Yeah, they seriously suck.
Well, I'm trying to take them down, but I can't without some help.
Oh, I got it. Come on.
I followed him until we arrived at the entrance of a large temple, which seemed to be themed with TNT.
Yeah, we can help you in a fight if you can get us the prize that waits in the center of the temple.
Okay, wish me luck.
Good luck.
On day 7, I entered inside the TNT fortress. The place was massive, and everything was themed with explosives. Whoa. Just then, though, the doors behind me slammed shut. A trial course began to activate in front of me, which led to a shiny piece of gunpowder. That must be the prize the creepers were talking about. All right, let's do this. I began to partake in the TNT trial. There were deadly parkour obstacles, and if I fell, I would be a goner. Thankfully, though, I was a lion and had crazy good agility. Haha, this is too easy. Unfortunately, though, I was blasted to the side. Yeah!
Oh, yeah?
I turned, only to see tiny TNT creatures peek their heads out from the sides. I just had to talk. They immediately began to throw explosives my way, doing everything they could to throw me into the lava.
Get TNT, loser!
The TNTs then thought ahead and blasted the final platform in front of me. Not good. I had an idea though and slashed the platform under my feet. It exploded, sending me right in front of the gunpowder. Haha, I did it! As I picked it up, the trial had ended. I made my way back over to the creepers and handed them my prize.
This is perfect! Let's go teach those gladiators a lesson.
On day 8, we made it back to the Coliseum for round 2.
The lion! It's back!
The gladiators all charging towards me, but I now had some backup.
Let them have it!
They began to use the magical gunpowder and blast out explosives right at them.
What the?
Haha! Take that! I jumped into the fight and helped them as well. With all of our might combined, they didn't stand a chance.
You came back.
Of course I did. With that, I went over to the next mutant orb and destroyed it. Because of this, its mutant essence was absorbed into me once again. My limbs grew longer, and I was now a stronger mutant lion with 15 hearts. More of the savannah's mutations were now gone, as the giraffes were completely cured. Yes.
You ruined everything!
What? What are you talking about?
All of this, the mutations, it's because of us. We wanted shows like none other. Ones that had animals never seen before.
You're the ones that mutated our savannah? But before he could say anything else, explosions sounded off. I looked up, only to see the mutated vultures had found us. They began to dive in and devour anything they could find. With a slash, the gladiator in front of me was killed. He dropped a piece of paper, so I took it and quickly escaped. On days 9 to 10, I safely escaped the arena with the cured giraffes.
Bozo! Oh, thank goodness you're okay. I want to show you something.
I followed the baby elephant as they led me and the giraffes to a secluded savannah valley, and within it were 2 homes that she had built.
I thought this place would be the perfect home base.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. With that, I built up the giraffes their very own natural home. Here, you guys can stay safe until all of this is fixed. I then took the time to look at the piece of paper the gladiator dropped and noticed that there were 6 total mutant orbs in the savannah. All right, maybe if I destroy the other 4, everything will go back to normal. As I said this though, I heard some voices from nearby. I went towards the sound where I saw some well-dressed snakes walk by.
This underground fighting club better be worth it.
Of course it is. I heard they have a mutant pillar to make every fight that more interesting.
Another pillar. I better follow them. I followed after the snakes as they led me to the entrance of an underground bunker. But as I approached, 2 snake guards stopped me.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going, pal? This club has a strict dress code.
Dress code? Come on, there has to be some way I can be let in.
You know what, Lion? There is one way.
On days 11 to 12, the snake led me over to a nearby mushroom forest. What are we? But as I said this, I accidentally stepped on a mushroom that exploded poisonous gas. Ah!
This place has a cook who's famous for his mushroom poppers. You get me some of those bad boys, I'll let you in the club.
All right, deal. I cautiously began to search through the forest, trying to find the mushroom cook everywhere I could. Just gotta get a few poppers and get out of here. As I continued, I came across a large ravine with tall mushroom stalks to get to the other side. Well, this should be easy. I began to leap across the platforms, but as I landed on the first mushroom, I was hit by another bomb from across the ravine. Ah! What the? I looked up and saw that there was a tall walking mushroom.
Stupid cat! I told those snakes they get no more poppers!
Wait! But the mushroom didn't listen as he began to launch spore bombs up into the air. Oh no! I continued to leap across the mushrooms as more and more explosives happened all around me. As I got closer though, I used my mutated roar towards the ground, allowing me to bounce off of the last mushroom and leap behind the mushroom. Dude, stop! I just need a few poppers.
No!
He was about to unleash another spore bomb, so I bit into him before he could. Because of this, it exploded. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. However, as the spores cleared away, I noticed that he had turned into a bunch of tiny mushrooms.
No more orders will be taken at this time!
They all then spread out and ran away from me. Wait, come back! On days 13 to 14, I focused on one of the running mushrooms as they tried getting away.
Please! You don't understand!
In my frustration, I shot out another mutant roar in front of him, causing a tall mushroom to collapse and cut him off. Okay, then wait. Why don't you tell me what's going on? With that, the tiny mushroom led me over to a dying mushroom farm. Whoa, what's this?
This is why we can't take any orders! Our supply! It's dying!
Oh no. I began to inspect the farm when I suddenly had an idea. I bit down into the ground, infusing the farmland with my mutation. And because of this, the mushroom began to grow into a massive size.
Yes! Oh, we're gonna get so much money for these bad boys! Here, take the first batch!
With that, the mushrooms happily handed me over some mushroom poppers. Thanks. It's kind of weird that mushrooms make mushroom poppers, but anyway, I made my way back to the Fight Club entrance to meet up with the snakes. Here you go, 2 orders of mushroom poppers.
Oh, yeah! That poison really has a kick. Please head inside. The fights have already started.
On days 15 to 16, I hurried inside the underground Fight Club, only to see more snakes were placing bets on a fight. There was a gorilla inside, and a mutated kangaroo?
Kick that ape into last week!
Oh my goodness! I looked over and saw in the center of the arena was another mutant pillar. I have to get it! As I said this, the kangaroo leapt in, taking the gorilla down in one final kick.
My reptilian patrons, we have a winner!
The snakes all around started to cheer as it hopped around pridefully.
Now, who will be our next challenger of the night?
Me! The crowd gasped as I leapt into the arena across from the kangaroo.
Oi! Oh, I'm gonna have fun kicking your teeth in.
Hold on, competitors. This round will be a little different. The first one of you to climb up the central tower and ring the bell will win the power of the mutant pillar. Are we ready?
All right. Yeah, I'm ready.
Then begin!
On days 17 to 18, the mutant kangaroo and I instantly jumped into action as we started to climb opposite sides of the tower. It could jump way higher than me, but I was much faster and started to quickly bounce between the small edges. Ha ha! Eat my dust!
Oi! You can't attack a Joey's pride like that, mate!
The words angered the kangaroo so much that he let out a powerful mutated burst, which hit me from a different platform. Yeah! This caused me to fall down as he continued to scale the tower. Hey, isn't that cheating?
Stupid cat! There's no rules in the Fight Club!
I angrily kept trying to scale the tower behind him, but just when I made it to the top, I saw that the kangaroo had gotten there first.
Ha! Better luck next time, mate.
No! The crowd began to cheer, but it was quickly cut short as a massive explosion rocked the club walls. And from it came the mutated vulture flying in.
You creatures thought you could hide from us? In your little club, destroy it all!
Vultures began to swoop around the room, destroying everything and everyone in their path. They even came in and knocked the kangaroo off the tower, killing him. No! I gotta get out of here. I ran up as everyone was panicking and struck the mutant pillar, causing me to begin to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts, grew even stronger, and now could perform my very own mutated burst attack. Awesome! With my new power, I jumped over and used it to blast an escape route for the snakes. Come on, everyone, this way! On days 19 to 21, I safely made my way back to my base with the surviving, well-dressed snakes. I made them a nice high society home so they could live comfortably. Sorry about your Fight Club.
Forget it! We'll take out our anger on those crazy vultures for wrecking it!
But just then, I heard a rumbling as a mutant rhino burst through the side of their home.
Come on! More power!
With that, the rhino sprinted right past us all and out of the base. What the? Where do you think you're going? I began to chase after the rhino, trying to slow it down with my attacks, but it was able to charge through anything. Whatever. I don't have time for this. I was about to start heading back when a mutated koala jumped down from a tree in front of me. Wah!
Yes, we finally found you. Sorry about this.
About what? Before I could react, another koala jumped down and struck me with a powerful hit in the back of my head. Ah! On days 22 to 26, I awoke, hanging from a tree. Ah, where am I? I looked around to see tons of koalas were all around, preparing a meal? Are you guys gonna eat me? I panicked and let out my new mutated burst, breaking myself out of the cage.
What the?
I made a break for the exit when more koalas dropped down in front of me. Don't make me blast you too.
Whoa, 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 pal, calm down. We weren't gonna cook you.
Huh? Then why did you capture me? The koala then led me over to another clearing, where I saw that they had a giant savanna tree being completely tainted by mutated water.
This tree is very important to my people, and we need you to fix it, or else we will make you our dinner.
Huh, piece of cake. How bad can a little water be? But as I stepped closer, it shot out a bubble that burned. Yeah, wait, stuff is like acid. I looked over and saw that there was a main stream feeding into the pool around the tree. Okay, I bet whatever is at the source of this will explain what's going on. On days 27 and 29, I followed the river to its source at the top of a savanna plateau. And there, in the water, was another mutant pillar. I should have known. All right, now how to get to it? I looked around the lake and saw that there were 3 other rocks blocking the lake from pouring into other rivers. If I break those, I can lower the water level. I ran over to the first one and used my mutated burst to break it open. Nice. But as this happened, I was shot at by acid. Ah! Turning around, I saw that some acidic axolotls were on the surface of the water.
An intruder! He's trying to steal our gift!
Gift? That pillar's a curse, dude! But they didn't listen and began to shoot at me with their acidic bubbles. I made a break for the other blockages, having to dodge the acid as I ran. But just when I got close, I was hit with multiple of the axolotls' attacks. Yeah, that's not gonna stop me. In my rage, I shot out a powerful mutant roar, breaking both of the rubble piles at once. With the water level fully lowered, they were stuck on dry land, making them way slower. I took the chance to run towards the pillar, but just then, a massive axolotl hit me from out of nowhere, taking me down to low hearts. On days 30 to 32, I was stuck in the dry lake as the lead axolotl tried to take me down. But just then, I heard a familiar rumbling as the mutant rhino from before came charging in. Whoa!
Everybody, run!
All of the small axolotl began to squirm away as the rhino looked towards the mutant pillar.
More power!
No! With another heavy charge, the rhino barreled through the pillar, destroying it. And because of this, he began to upgrade. He grew much larger and even more powerful. That's not good.
Yes! Power!
The rhino rushed towards me as I barely dodged out of the way. He continued to run, following the acid river that hadn't drained yet.
We're eating good tonight.
Power!
Ah! Run!
Don't worry, I got him! But before I could reach him, the rhino rushed right towards their sacred tree. On days 33 to 35, I was running as fast as I could to get ahead of the rhino. Stop! I tried to use my mutant roar, but it had no effect. He launched me into the river. Ah, no! The pure acid was bringing me down to low hearts. But then I had an idea. While the acid was deadly, I felt it powering my body up. I waited until I got lower and lower, until I let out the most powerful mutant blast I could. Because of this, the rhino was taken down. Yes, his mutant energy transferred into me, causing me to begin to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts and grew to be as strong as the rhino himself. Awesome. What was that? I looked up and saw that my explosion had hit the koala's tree, causing it to fall over.
Run!
Looking over, I saw one of them was in the path of the falling tree. Hold on! I used my upgraded form to dash my way towards the koala and bring him to safety. It's all right. You're safe now.
Safe? How can we be safe? You destroyed our tree!
Right. Well, come on. Let me make it up to you. On days 36 and 39, I made my way back to the base with the koalas. I quickly built them up a new treehouse so that they can stay safe. Sorry, it's not like the last one, but it'll grow.
Thanks, Fozo. We'll make sure of it.
As I was finishing, I heard Ruckus coming inside. I looked as one of the sloths bolted through while it was being chased by a villager. Get back here, you thief! Hey, what are you doing? The sloth tore through the base, with its strong mutant claws ripping out some of the roofs of the houses. As quickly as they came in, though, the villager and sloth ran out. I decided to chase after them, up until the edge of the radioactive rainforest. As it got into the trees, the sloth used its mutant claws and slashed at one of them. Okay, what's going on?
It's that stupid sloth! He's been stealing all my village's food! We'll starve if he keeps this up!
Oh no, stay here. I'll deal with it. With that, I began to go into the jungle to find where the sloth went. On days 40 to 44, I was doing my best to chase after the sloth inside the rainforest.
What the? Get away from me! Ha!
As I got closer, it started to break more trees and try and slow me down. The trees started crashing in front of me, blocking my path. Oh, no you don't. I used my mutant roar to clear them ahead of me. And after running deeper and deeper inside the rainforest, I was able to find its den. I chased her inside and saw the sloth at the foot of a mutant pillar with a sick baby.
Please, I needed the villagers' food for my son. This mutant pillar is the only thing keeping him alive.
Really? Well, I need that pillar. There has to be a way we can cure him. If we do, then all of this can stop.
Okay, you're our only hope.
The sloth gave me a list of ingredients that could make a cure, and with no time to lose, I began to search for them. On days 45 to 47, I began my search, looking for a spider eye, cocoa seeds, and void fruit. I began looking throughout the rainforest for all of them. Going through, I was able to get a spider eye from a spider and some cocoa seeds from a nearby tree. And after looking at the ingredients list again, I saw that the sloth gave me directions to a meteorite. Huh, is that where I can find the void fruit? I followed the coordinates until finding myself at the edge of an enormous void crater. And there at its center was the meteorite. Yeah, it must be in there. I looked over and saw that the only way across was by a floating platform leading to it. So with that, I started to jump across the fragments. And as I did, they started to shudder and fall. I continued, but once I got to the final platform, I saw that the gap to the meteorite was way too far. Oh no! While I was hesitating, the fragment began to shake, meaning that it was gonna collapse. I ran forward though and used my mutant dash, trying to get as far as I could. But I saw I wasn't gonna make it. I had to think quick and use my mutant burst to explode me upwards. Because of this, I was able to land on the meteor. That was a close one. Time to find that void fruit. As I was going through the forest, I couldn't help but feel like someone was watching me. What was that? I continued to look around until I eventually came to the meteorite center. There, I found a single tree that had the void fruit on it. Perfect. As I tried to approach though, I got stopped by some kind of force field. What the? There were 3 runes of void energy around the clearing. I must have to break those. I backed away and used my mutant roar. The vibrations from it caused one of the void rooms to be destroyed, and it weakened the force field. All right. Suddenly, a black hole formed above the tree and started to pull me in. I used my roar again to break the second room, but the black hole was only getting stronger and stronger. I surely thought I was done for and was getting lower by the second. But with the one last roar, the black hole was gone, and so was the force field. Because of that, I was able to grab the void fruit for myself. All right, time to cure that baby sloth. Before I can leave the meteorite though, a huge lizard slammed down and hit me with a void attack, blinding me.
I'll be taking this.
Without another word, he hurried off with the fruit. Hey, where'd he go? On days 53 to 56, I went deeper into the meteorite forest, trying to find the thief. Why would someone even take the fruit away anyway? Thankfully, I was able to find a trail of destruction and followed it. At the end, I came across a village of void lizards? Hi?
An intruder! That must be the lion that the chief was talking about! Get him!
Wait, what? They all began to charge, trying to subdue me. As they crowded me, I used my mutant blast to push them back. But it was no use. Within seconds, a void cage appeared on top of me, trapping me. Hey, let me out of here.
Looking for me?
Out of nowhere, the lizard from before appeared, standing next to the void fruit. You, give me back that fruit.
Never! I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to cure the trespasser that came here. Well, you're out of luck, buddy. You're never getting this fruit.
We'll see about that. I swung around and used my mutant tail to break myself out of the cage.
Wait, you weren't supposed to do that.
Don't worry, Chief. I'll get him! Ah! You got this, Chief. That lion has nothing on you.
Gah! Do I have to do everything myself?
On days 57 to 59, I charged towards the lizard chief, knocking him back with a powerful dash. He tried to slash his void sword at me, but I was able to use my mutant roar to fight him back as much as I could.
My ears!
With the opening, I was able to grab the void fruit, and once I did, I could tell that it had changed, and I could feel myself begin to float. Whoa, cool.
Stop him before he gets away!
As I was floating, the lizards tried to attack me with their weapons, but I already floated high enough so that they couldn't reach me. With that, I flew away from the lizards and the meteorites. Eventually, I was able to return to the sloth den. Here you go.
Let's hope you weren't too late.
Both of us waited until the baby sloth sprung up, as healthy as ever.
Oh, my boy! You're all right! Thank you, Lion. I have no more need of the mutant pillar's power. You can break it if you wish.
With pleasure. I shattered the mutant pillar, and as I did, I absorbed all of its power once again. I now had 30 hearts, and I gained the mutated sharp claws like the sloth. Awesome! On days 60 to 63, I returned to my base with the sloths, making another rainforest den just for them. I hope you like it.
Anything is better than that rotten tree.
As she said this, I heard a noise of someone coming into the base. I looked over and saw a carnival monkey standing up at the tallest point inside.
Come one, come all to the Mutant Monkey Circus!
Mutant monkey? I need to go see him. Can you take me? With that, the two of us started to travel towards the circus. But as we exited the base, Carney was suddenly picked up against his will. Wait, the vultures!
Wah! What's going on?
Hey! I chased after them until they finally dropped him at the top of a huge cliff.
This is for all those annoying carnival flyers you put in our base! Have fun getting down!
Oh no! I ran towards the monkey. The cliff below him began to crumble, and I knew I had to help.
Help! Help! I'm not an acrobat. I'm not good with heights!
Don't worry, I'm coming to help. Whatever you do, don't move! I started to scale up the wall, using a natural rocky platform to scale the side. And with my sloth claws, I was able to dig in the side of the rock, which helped me climb easier. Yeah, okay, hop on. He did as I said, right as a huge chunk gave away. With him now saved, I began to climb the two of us back down.
Wow, thank you. You're just the animal we needed. Come on, I'll show you to the ringmaster.
With that, the two of us took off. And once we arrived, I saw a large mutant pillar right in the center of an enormous circus tent. Another pillar. I started to rush towards it, but before I could go far, an enormous mutated monkey stopped me in my tracks.
Nuh-uh-uh. No one goes into the tent until the show.
But I need to destroy that pillar.
What? But that's what helps business boom around here. I can't let you do that.
Just then, Carney went next to him and explained what I did.
I see. Follow me, Lion.
Okay, I did. until we arrived at a nearby skate park.
Yeah, man. Now you try.
All right.
Yeah, are you okay, man?
That was so awesome. I gotta try that again.
Why are we here?
Well, we have a little problem. Our opening act has run away. If you can convince her to come back, then we will talk about the mutant pillar. Deal?
Deal. On days 69 to 73, I went into the skate park to look for the circus opening act. Man, there are tons of people here. How am I gonna find her? But just then, I heard a commotion coming from nearby. I approached the crowd, and that's when I saw the one that I was looking for. Hey!
Huh? Who are you?
The ringmaster sent me here to pick you up.
Whatever, loser. I'm not going back to that bunch of dorks anytime soon.
Before I could say anything else, the elephant already got on her skateboard and started to skate away. Hey, come back! Borrowing this, thanks! Hey, my board! Using the skateboard, I chased after the elephant inside of the skate park as she started to do crazy tricks. I had to do the same jumps she was doing in order to keep up with her, and it was extremely tough. But it seemed to impress her.
You're surprisingly good at the board. For a noob, I'll make you a bet. If you can beat me at the death grind, then I'll go back to the circus with you.
All right, sounds good to me. Though, what's the death grind? The elephant pointed up, pointing at the enormous staircase at the end of the skate park. Oh. On days 74 to 77, the elephant and I took our spots at the top of the death grind staircase.
It was a bad call agreeing to that bet. I'm never going back to that circus.
Without wasting a second, she jumped on and started to grind away. Just before the elephant could finish the entire railing, though, she suddenly lost her balance.
Whoa! Oh, peanuts.
Man, if the elephant can't do it, what hope does this chump have? You just gotta wait and see. With that, I hopped onto my skateboard and started the death grind. This is getting unstable. Whoa! I tried balancing myself with my mutant tail, which let me stay on it for longer. Almost there! As I hit the bottom of the railing, I used my mutant dash and made the sickest jump off the railing. Whoa! I did it!
I hate to say it, but a deal's a deal.
Yes! Now let's get you back to the circus. As the elephant and I returned, though, we saw that everyone was huddled around something. What's going on?
Oh, the elephant! You're back! But tragedy struck! Leon just came down with a sickness. I told him to stop eating those bad steaks. Where are we gonna find a lion act now?
What? No. Why are you guys all looking at me like that?
Bozo, if you do the show with us, then we'll let you have the mutant pillar.
On days 78 to 80, before I knew it, I was at the top of the circus tent, in front of a tightrope? What did I just agree to?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching our show. We're now down to our final act. Give it up for the amazing mutant lion!
Ugly Kitty! You better hold up your end of the bargain.
Monkey's honor. Now, get on with the show.
With that, I started my performance. The first thing I had to do was walk a high tightrope without falling down on the net below. This would normally be hard, but with my experience on the death grind, I was now able to cross it easily. The crowd went wild as I went to the second act. I looked down and saw 3 hoops that I had to jump through, high above the ground. All right, here goes nothing. With my dash, I was successfully able to jump across all 3 of them and make it to the floor.
Our fantastic feline has braved 2 incredible feats, but can he survive our last?
I heard the loud footsteps of something enormous approaching, and from the shadows, the carnies brought out an ogre? What the? On days 81 to 85, as the ogre entered the performance arena, it did a mighty roar and charged right at me. Whoa! I dodged out of the way, but as I did, it was now on track to charge into the audience. Oh no! I shot out a mutant roar at him, which caused it to direct its focus back at me. Oh, a big mistake. Whoa! I used my mutant claws and was able to break the rock just in time. And with my dash, I charged back at him. With it stunned, I used my mutant claws and slashed it down completely. rendering it defeated. The crowd cheered as the ringmaster approached me.
That was closer than I thought. Thank you for keeping the audience safe, Bozo. Maybe it's time to retire from the circus. The mutant pillar is all yours.
Sweet. He stepped aside and let me destroy the mutant pillar. Once I did, I felt myself getting stronger. I now had 35 hearts and gained way better dexterity than I ever had before. This would have been really helpful earlier. On days 86 to 90, I was making my way back to my base with the circus monkeys when I saw vultures starting to fly overhead.
Hey! Who's over there?
Not again!
I looked over and saw that one of the monkeys was still out in the open. Hold on! I dashed over and pushed him into cover as the vultures swooped down.
I swear I saw a delicious snack here just a second ago.
You bird brain! Come on, the boss is expecting us!
I hid somewhere nearby as I watched them fly away. Where could they be going? I decided to follow them until I finally saw them fly into a base that was being built around the last mutant pillar. Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. I snuck inside and saw the vultures surrounding a stage with their leader speaking in the center.
Brethren, that bothersome feline has outdone us for the last time. We must stand and protect the final mutant pillar, lest we go back to our old ways. Do you want to become scavengers again?
No!
Do you want to eat scraps again?
No!
Well, what do you want?
Food! Food! Food!
Then this whole world will be your feasting grounds. Protect this pillar with your lives to make it so. The moment we see that lion, let's tear him to shreds.
Oh no, I can't go in there alone. I'm gonna need everyone's help. With that, I hurried back to my friends, back to my base. On days 91 to 94, once I arrived back home, I gathered everyone around to make sure we had a plan. Listen up, everyone. The vultures are guarding the final mutant pillar. If we don't stop them, then we'll never be able to return the savannah to normal.
Oh no, we need to stop them. If we don't, then we'll be doomed.
With that, all of my friends and I agreed that we needed to stop them. The first order of business was making a new home for the carnies. To make sure they felt as at home as possible, I decided to make them their own circus tent to replace the one from before. Once that was done, I met with the baby elephant and devised a plan on how to attack the base.
If you really need to get to the leader, then what you can do is help us get as close as possible. And then we'll make sure that you can focus on going to the leader yourself.
But will you guys be okay?
Hey, this is the savannah we're talking about, our home. There's nothing more important than that.
I agreed and was about to lead my friends to battle when we were confronted by a group of surviving gladiators.
Please, Mutant Lion, we want to help. After those vultures attacked our arena, we ran for our lives. But after a while, we realized what we had done. This savannah is our home too.
All right, we could use all the help you can give. Once we were all prepared, we went to the vultures' base, ready to fight them and destroy the final mutant pillar. On days 95 to 99, the vultures instantly came down and started to attack us. Fight back! We weren't going down without a fight. They tried their best to surround us and shoot at us with their deadly mutant powers. But as they did, I fired back, using my mutant burst to take down multiple at a time. All right!
You think you can hunt me? Rah!
We continued deeper inside until we finally reached the foot of the final mutant pillar. Everyone, attack! With that, everyone started to use all of their powers to begin breaking it. However, in the middle of all of this, more and more of the vultures kept trying to take us down.
Rah! I'll make you into a nice feathered cloak!
Bozo, you need to climb to the top. That must be where all the power is concentrated.
But what about all of you guys down here?
We'll take care of it. Now get up there.
With that, I rushed up and started climbing the pillar. As I did, more vultures began trying to knock me off. Thankfully, with my mutant dexterity, it meant that I could climb up quicker than ever, and was even to swat away some of them. Eventually, I finally arrived at the top of the pillar, where I found the mutant pillar's core. And there waiting for me was the Vulture leader himself.
So, you finally come to try and pry our power away from us? I will not allow it!
He flew forward and slashed at me with his mutant talons. Ah! I staggered back as he prepared to make another attack. Right before it could swoop down, I used my mutant roar, knocking him back just in time.
You may be strong, but you'll never be able to defeat me this close to the mutant pillar's core.
We'll see about that. With one final charge, I bursted in his direction. He was quicker than ever though, and dodged it.
You missed.
Did I? The leader turned around and saw that the mutant burst was aimed at the pillar core behind him. The moment it did, the entire mutant pillar started to collapse as a bright white light covered over the entire savannah. Everything was now finally back to normal, and all of our mutations were gone. Yes, the savannah, it's freed! On day 1, I spawned in as a Minecraft dweller. I was with my brother, hunting down any players who dare disturb our home.
Ah! Great job, brother. Soon, you can start guarding our woods on your own.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect our home. As I said this, my brother was blasted back by a powerful explosion. I looked over to see the blast had come from a player with modded items I had never seen before.
That's right, Dweller. We upped our game with the strongest mods possible. And with them, we are going to wipe all of you Dwellers out of our world for good!
I watched in horror as he and the other players shot out more attacks, and everything I loved was completely destroyed. No! No one messes with my home! I ran up and tried to slash into the player, but nothing worked?
Huh! You're gonna have to be a lot stronger than that!
He shot down an explosion right at my feet, sending me flying back into a wall. Ah!
Hurry, brother! We're not powerful enough to stop them! Run!
On day 2, my brother and I began to rush down the cave to get away from the men. However, one of the players sent out a blast that turned the area into lava? Ah! These mods are insane. We had no choice but to continue running through and use the few platforms left to jump across. We dashed down the nearest tunnel until eventually arriving at a dead end. Oh no!
I've been waiting for this.
Stay away from my brother!
My brother dashed in front of me, blocking the attack from the officer. My brother was able to land a final hit, but not before getting slashed by his sword.
Ah!
No, brother!
Little brother, you have to stop those players. If you don't, all of us Dwellers will be gone. Show them this world is our home too. Do it for me.
No! No! Before I could even think of what to do, their fight had destroyed the cave's walls, causing lava to spill in. I had nowhere to go, but on the floor was the officer's sword. All right, maybe I can use this. I picked it up, causing my dweller body to change as I upgraded. I gained 5 more hearts, and my claws became way stronger than before. Whoa, these modded items make me stronger? On day 3, I used my new ability to burst through the nearest wall before the lava could reach me. This power, it feels amazing. Only my brother lived to see it. Suddenly, the silence was broken as I heard someone calling out.
Help!
Huh? I ran down the tunnel to see a large cavern with a mine shaft. And there, on one of the bridges, was a sheep dweller surrounded by MPO miners.
Time to die, you beast!
I have to do something. I jumped down and slashed into one of them.
What the? Ah!
Stay away from him.
You're that dweller that's supposed to be dead! Get him first!
The others began to rush in as I fought back as best as I could, but there were just too many of them.
Hold on!
He ran up behind the miners and sent out a horrifying screech, stunning them all.
Go!
Hit the bridge!
I did as he said, slashing at the wood under them, causing them all to fall to their death. Nice teamwork.
I've never seen a dweller like you before.
Yeah, I grew stronger from a modded item.
Really? I found one of those over this way. Follow me!
On day 4, the sheep dweller led me to a village on the surface. Ah, what a beautiful morning. Ah, monsters! Everyone run! So, why did you bring me here? Am I supposed to eat these guys?
No? Well, I guess we could. But the real reason was for that.
I looked over and saw that in the center was another modded item. Sweet. With enough of those, I'll definitely stand a chance against the modded organization. We began to run towards it when I suddenly heard a bell ringing out. Formation B! I looked around as multiple villager guards came running up, completely surrounding us. What the? Behold, the village guard dwellers! You must leave at once! No way! I'm not going anywhere without that item. The guards got angry and rushed in to attack. But without hesitation, I blasted the first one back through a house. Ah! Why? Yeah? Who's next? Wait! Let's talk about this. We'll do a trade.
These guys don't know any better, man. Let's do what he says.
All right. What do you want? On day 5, I left the village with the guard as he brought me over to a large temple. Yes, this structure just came out of nowhere. But legend says it holds the most beautiful enchanted emerald within. Must have been all those stupid mods the MPO added. All right, if I get you that emerald, can I have that other item? The guard nodded. So I slowly started to make my way inside the temple. Once there, I saw a large chamber full of emeralds. And there at the center was the enchanted emerald gem. Haha! This'll be easy. I ran over and picked it up. But as soon as I did, something began to happen in the room. I guess I should have been more suspicious. Everything turned red around me as all of the water turned into lava? Wait, I'll put it back. I was about to set the emerald back down when I was suddenly blasted back by a modded blaze.
You thief! You will die in the flames for your crimes!
Multiple of them started to rain down fiery blasts at me as I made a break for the exit. However, one of them shot the bridge in front of me, making it collapse. Oh no! On day 6, I looked up to see that more blazes were spawning from the lava in front of me. Out of pure panic, I slashed out at the nearest one. And as he died, his body turned into blocks? Wait, that's how I get out of here. I leaped over to the platform and started to taunt the other blazes to come closer. Over here, you floating torch!
I will burn you where you stand, thief!
They rushed in close, but I slashed them out of the air, making more and more platforms with each kill. Ha ha! Finally, I made it to the other side and escaped the temple before any more of them could spawn. Now to get my reward. I made my way all the way back to the village and tossed over the enchanted emerald to the villager guard. I believe our deal is complete. You actually did it! Well done, Dweller. You can certainly... what the... Suddenly, as the villager picked up the emerald, his body began to change into a monstrous villager dweller? Wait, the emerald was cursed? He shot out a powerful beam, recklessly destroying his own home. Not another one! We're all going to die! All of the villagers began to flee as the cursed dweller locked onto me. On day 7, the villager dweller rushed in to attack. His curse allowed him to blast out fire from his open mouth. Ah! Stop! I had no choice but to try and fight back. But whatever the emerald did to him made him completely resistant to my attacks. That's not good. He sprayed me again with his flames, taking me down to low hearts. But before he could land a final blow, he was blasted back by a crazy explosion.
Take it all down, boys. This village is the MPO's territory now.
I watched as the modded players began to run around the village, attacking everything in sight. Thankfully, though, this caused the villager dweller to rush up and attack them.
You die!
Now's my chance to grab that item. I ran over and picked it up, causing my body to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts as my head and jaw stretched out, giving me even more stronger abilities.
Hey, there's another one!
I looked over and saw that the players had captured the other dweller and were coming to get me next. Oh, no you don't. I began to blast them with my new attack, which was able to wipe them out with ease.
What? You found our special modded relics? No, no!
So, these items are special. Get back here! On day 8, I ran after the player, but the mods made them much faster than me. Thankfully though, the sheep dweller came out of nowhere and hit them back.
You ain't going anywhere!
Yeah, now tell us about these relics.
All right. Out of all the mods we added to the server, there were 6 lost relics that no one could find. Whoever collects them all can be an unstoppable force, but we'll make sure that you'll never find the others.
The players suddenly began to try and teleport away, but before they could, I took them down with one final hit.
Nice work! And if that guy was telling the truth, we only need to find 4 more relics.
Finding them can make me strong enough to take them down. We have no time to lose. But as we went to leave, a lightning bolt struck down right in front of us. I looked up and saw that floating there was another player?
That isn't a player. That's Herobrine!
Yes, and I came here to remind you that you're not the most powerful mob in this world. I am!
Well, if you're another mob, we should work together. Those players are out of control.
You think I need your help? Ha! You're more of an idiot than I thought.
In a flash, another bolt of lightning struck down as I was teleported out of the village. When my eyes opened again, I saw that I had been placed in a massive void maze.
You are now in my domain, Dweller. I am the one that players fear. You are nothing.
A powerful lightning storm began to crash down all around me, forcing me to run deeper in. Each strike was extremely deadly, and I knew that just one hit would take me down for good. I have to find a way out of here. I rounded around the corner and saw a long pit that fell right into the void. But hovering above it were sets of flashing platforms? Guess I don't have a choice. I began to leap between the platforms, timing my jumps each time they switched sides. Come on. I was about to make it to the other side when a bolt struck down on the final one. From it alone, I was brought down to extremely low hearts. No, I can't die here. I have to keep my promise to my brother. More lightning strikes were closing in on me, and I was about to be done for until I felt something pull my attention to a crack in the maze wall. I blasted out at it, shattering the wall to another pathway. With it cleared, I was able to run down as fast as I could until I saw a portal. That must be a way out of here. However, as I ran towards it, I saw a strange map off to the side, and that same feeling from before pulled me towards it. There must be something important on this.
Impossible!
Spinning around, I saw that Herobrine was floating above me again.
How did a fool like you find the exit? I won't let you leave!
He began to blast down crazy abilities as I made a break for the portal. But just when I got close, his attack struck me from behind, sending me flying through. On days 11 to 12, I woke up in a large underground hideout. Huh? How did I get here?
Hey, you're alive!
I turned around to see my sheep dweller friend running up to me. Did you bring me here?
Yeah, we found you passed out on the surface, so we brought you to this dweller safe house.
Wait, we? Just then, I sensed something behind me and looked up to see the villager dweller.
Thank you. I see now. Players evil.
Then, I guess we're all on the same page. I looked around our new home and saw that there were 6 ancient pedestals hidden away. I placed down the 2 modded relics I'd found so far, and because of this, the pedestals began to light up.
Whoa, sweet! Hey, I was wondering, how did you get away from Herobrine?
I felt like someone was looking out for me, guiding me somehow. Oh, that reminds me. I took out the map I had found in Herobrine's domain. This has to lead to somewhere important. I left the hideout, following the map's coordinates until I came across an ominous-looking cave entrance. I guess this is the place? I was about to walk inside when an extremely fast creature rushed by me, hitting me back. Ah!
There's only room for one dweller here.
I looked up to see that standing in the entrance of the cave was a cave dweller. On days 13 to 14, the dweller rushed in to attack. Gah! Hey, slow down! I don't want to fight you!
No! You must have come here for the games, and I know only another dweller could beat me.
What are you talking about? He didn't answer though, and came in hitting me again, when suddenly an attack was shot in between us. I looked over to see that now coming out of the cave was a king skeleton.
There will be no fighting on the Scare Game grounds. Please, contestants, come in.
Hesitantly, the other dweller and I followed the skeleton inside to a moonlit cave full of other scary mobs.
The Scare Games can finally be underway. The rules are simple. The contestant who scares the most mobs during the night will be the winner and the new owner of this relic orb.
He turned to the side, revealing the next lost relic. I knew something would be here. Seems like I gotta win this game then.
The game starts now!
All of us mobs rush out of the cave in search of creatures to scare. I quickly found a cow in a field with tall grass. An easy target. I began to use my hunting abilities to stalk up closer to it. But just before I jumped out,
That's one!
No! This guy's a pro! He's gonna be the one I'll have to keep up with. On days 15 to 16, I continued to stalk around the area and was finally able to sneak up on a chicken. Rah! Haha! That's one for me! I hunted more mobs through the night, quickly gaining more and more points. All right, that's 9. I wonder how many points the other dweller has. As I said this, though, I saw another creature up ahead, a villager. This'll be easy. I quietly snuck up above and jumped down right in front of them. Boom! Yeah! Out of fear, the mob shot out a crossbow at me. Ah! Wait a minute. You're not a villager.
I'm a villager, you idiot, and you're dead meat.
Huh? He whistled out into the air, calling a group of more pillagers to come out of nowhere and surround me. Oh no. They all began to fire at me rapidly as I had nowhere to go. I gotta get out of here. I slashed out at one of them, pushing him back and giving me an opening. I made a break for it, but the pillagers began to chase after me.
No one calls me a villager and gets away with it.
I'm sorry, okay? Is that what you want to hear? Just then, one of them shot out another arrow, hitting me and affecting me with slowness. No! They were about to catch up to me now, and I knew I was gonna be done for. But suddenly, a figure dropped down in between us. The cave dweller let out a terrifying roar that took out the head pillager.
Fall back! Fall back!
Thankfully, this scared them all away as they ran for their lives. Thanks for the...
Oh, I didn't do this for you. I just scored 12 pints.
What? No, I lost? On day 17 to 18, I sadly walked back to the skeleton's cave, where everyone was waiting to hear who won.
And the winner of this Scare Games is the Cave Dweller!
Ha! You all never stood a chance!
He walked up to the king to collect his prize, when suddenly a powerful arrow shot out and hit him back. What the? We all turned to see the pillagers had tracked us down and brought a lot of backup.
You rotten monsters killed one of our own. All of you are gonna pay the price.
They began to charge in as the cave fell into complete chaos. All the mobs were fighting for themselves, and because of this, they were all being overwhelmed. Guys, we have to fight back together. I began to rush around the room and fight alongside the other mobs.
Whoa, listen to the Dweller! Fight together! Fire!
They did as he said, as we started to push back the pillagers from the cave. I then looked across and saw that the cave dweller was being cornered.
You! Haha, I'm gonna enjoy this.
I have to do something. I quickly dashed over and shot out my poison spit, finally taking him down. With that, the pillagers ran away for good.
My goodness, Dweller, we would have never survived without you.
I hate to say it, but he's right. Who cares about the stupid games? You deserve that relic.
Really? Thanks. I happily agreed and picked up the next lost relic. This caused my body to grow as my arms elongated into a much stronger, monstrous form. Awesome. On days 19 to 21, I began to lead the scary mobs back to my base, as the caves were no longer safe for them. But along the way, I felt a pull towards a nearby dark forest. It's just like when I was in the maze. I have to follow it. I told the others where to find my home and quickly headed off into the forest. It wasn't long until I was deep within the trees, and in my rush, I had completely gotten lost. Which way did I come from again? I looked back to where I felt the pull and saw Brother? I ran towards him, sprinting out into a clearing. What's going on? How are you here?
Little brother, it's so
great
to see you.
Huh? My brother walked closer to me, but as he did, the illusion began to fade as I saw the ghost's true form. He was possessed. Ah! I tried to run away, only to bump into another one.
It's okay. Don't worry. We just want to play.
Yes, we count and you hide.
They both flew over and faced a nearby tree and began to count.
1, 2.
Okay, forget this. I'm getting out of here. I began to dash through the forest at crazy speeds thanks to my upgraded form. But no matter how fast I ran, I just couldn't find an exit.
Ready or not, here we come.
I do not want to find out what they'll do to me if they find me. I better hide. On days 22 to 26, I found an abandoned structure in the woods and quickly hid inside. But it wasn't long before the ghost came creeping into the area.
Where are you?
One of them was coming closer to the building, but I had an idea. I slashed out at a tree through the window, drawing their attention to it. As he floated over to look, I noticed a light coming from the trees. An exit! I made a break for it, only to be cut off by the other ghost.
There you are. Looks like you're lost.
And what does that mean?
Oh, it's simple, really.
The two ghosts started to glow as their forms merged into a horrifying ghoul.
We get to eat you now!
Oh, come on! They slashed down at me, sending me flying back into the building. Ah! They rushed up and began to carve into it, breaking out chunks at a time to get to me. I gotta go! I ran to the back of the room, knowing that if I got hit again, I would be done for.
Come on, Dweller! You too scared to play with us?
Their words made me think back to all those days before, when my brother had to defend me against the MPO. If I were braver then, maybe he would still be alive. I won't let him down! The ghoul finally clawed their way through the building, and with no other choice, I stood my ground and sent out the most powerful attack I could, hitting them head on.
Gah!
I didn't let up and continued to barrage them with my abilities until they were forced to split apart again. There! See? I'm not scared.
That was fun.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Take this!
The ghost walked up to me, and as he touched me, I was granted a vision of a castle? What was that?
You're looking for the lost relics, right? The next one you need is there.
Wait, how did you... But before I could finish my sentence, the ghosts faded away. Okay, I really need to get out of this place. On days 27 to 29, I left the haunted forest, and with the knowledge the ghosts had given me, I found the castle from their vision.
Hear ye, hear ye! All citizens, please gather for the king's arrival!
I looked over and saw that all the players in the kingdom were watching their king as he walked through the street to his castle, and on his head was a powerful looking modded crown. That's the next modded relic. I have to get closer. While the guards were distracted, I quietly made my way past the main gate and hid away in a nearby alley. I continued to sneak my way around the kingdom, looking for any chance to jump out to swipe the crown. Maybe I could ambush him when suddenly a loud explosion shot up next to me. Wah! Wait, fireworks?
A monster's within our gates! Protect the king!
Knights rushed in and began to escort the king to the castle. Hey, give me that! But as I tried to rush up, I was hit on the head from behind. My vision started to fade as I passed out. On days 30 to 32, I woke up inside of a cage in the kingdom's dungeon. What the?
So, we still down for tacos tonight?
That's a no-go. My mom's making dino nuggets.
Hey, get me out of here!
No way, you monster! The only reason you're not dead is because the MPO wanted to kill you themselves. You'll see them shortly.
No, I need to get that relic before they get here. I slashed out at the cage, easily breaking my way out. But with the drawbridge up, I had to find another way to escape. Here goes nothing. I began to jump between the rocks, using my upgraded speed to make the large jumps.
Whoa! Shoot him down!
The players began to shoot out arrows at me, trying to knock me off the platforms. But I knew that I couldn't fail here. I made the final dash to the other side and jumped right in front of the knights. Now, which one of you is gonna tell me where the king is?
Oh, come on, man!
You better start talking.
Okay. There's a secret tunnel that way. It'll lead you right to the king.
On days 33 to 35, I made my way through the secret tunnel, which opened up right into the throne room. And there on the throne was the king.
How did you get out?
More player knights began to charge into the room to protect him, but they were no use against my abilities. Give up, king. All I want is that crown.
Well, you can have it. Over my dead body!
I ran up to take him down. However, I was cut off by a massive knight that fell down in between us.
The MPO's modern no joke, huh? Say hello to the King's Guard!
His guard started to slam into me with his sword, as I quickly realized he was much stronger than anything else in the kingdom. I tried to fight back with my abilities, but no matter what I did, he would just charge right through and hit me again. Ah!
So long, Dweller. This world will soon be ours.
I looked around the room for anything I could to stop his guard, and that's when I noticed the chandelier. That'll work. Hey, come and get me. It charged in to attack again, but when it got close, I jumped back and fired my slash up at the chandelier. It came crashing down, taking down the guard with it. Yes.
Wait. We can talk about this. I can make you rich.
Yeah, we're done talking. I easily took down the king, making him drop the modded relic crown. After picking it up, my body began to upgrade again. I gained 5 more hearts, and my hunting senses increased to giving me brand new abilities. Whoa, sweet. On days 36 to 39, I made my way out of the player's kingdom and back to the dweller hideout. There, I saw that the cave dweller and other mobs had made it safely.
Hey, you're back! This place is starting to get pretty crowded.
I think I have a way to fix that. I got to work, and with everyone's help, we dug out rooms in the hideout for everyone to stay in. And I built mine right next to the other relics. That reminds me, I placed down the newest relic I'd gained, causing 2 more of the pedestals to light up. All right, just 2 more to go. But I wish you were still here to see all this, brother. We're getting so close to stopping those players.
Dweller! See evil men planning something!
What? Where were they? After following the villagers' directions, I made my way to the coast, where I saw a player-built research lab off in the water, and on it was the modded player's leader.
Doctor, give me some good news.
The research is coming along swimmingly. After a few more wiki searches, your plans will be ready.
Don't make me wait any longer. I don't need someone else failing me today.
With that, he stormed off as the scientist went back into his lab. I have to see what they're planning. It can't be good. After sneaking my way in, I noticed that there were no other players here. All right, this should be easy. But as I walked forward, I stepped on a pressure plate, causing rows of deadly lasers to appear down the hallway. Of course it's trapped. I began to slowly maneuver around the lasers to get past, but when I got to the end, the path was completely blocked.
Look up.
Huh? I looked past the lasers and saw that another dweller was trapped in a cage.
Didn't you hear me? Look up.
I did as he said and saw a space where I can hit the mechanism shooting the lasers. Oh, I shot at them with my abilities, breaking them with ease. Sweet. I then went over and slashed into the dweller's cage, freeing him.
Thank you. But hey, if you help me take out that stupid player who trapped me, I could give you some information that'll be worth your while.
Sounds like a deal. On days 45 to 47, the Cuckoo Clock Dweller went deeper within the lab, finally coming across the scientists in a room full of dinosaurs?
I knew you would come here, Dweller, but no matter how much firepower you have, nothing will stop the MPO from taking over.
We'll see about that. You guys kill my brother, and I won't let you get away with this.
You won't have a chance. Once I finish my research of these dinosaur mods, we will know how to tame them. And with an army this powerful, you will be...
Suddenly, one of the dinosaurs broke out and killed the scientist. Whoa, looks like he didn't tame them yet. But because of this, something began to happen to the lab. Oh no, he had a self-destruct sequence.
Run!
We began to dart back towards the entrance, but when we made it to the laser-filled hall, everything was breaking, causing lasers to shoot out rapidly around the room. We gotta go! We continued to run through the dangerous hallway, but with more explosions and lasers, I was knocked back and taken down to low hearts. I'm not gonna make it!
There.
I looked over and saw that he found a cracked wall off to the side. He charged into it, breaking it down to the outside. Nice! With that, we safely made it back out and made it far away from the exploding lab. Great work! Now, what was that information you were talking about?
Right. I know where a lost relic is. Come on, follow me.
On days 48 to 52, I followed the Cuckoo Clock to a ruined nether portal. Oh no. Don't tell me.
Come on, the nether isn't that scary.
We quickly finished the portal and lit it. And as we went through, we walked out into the nether, surrounded by piglins.
Hey, what are you two doing here?
Oh, shut it, Terrence. It's just some dwellers.
Huh? I guess it's all right here. Just then, I heard a noise and looked up to see a giant lava dragon. Whoa!
Yep, and that's our target. It's the guardian of one of those lost relics, and I bet it's not gonna be happy to part with it. So, good luck.
Seriously? Guess I'm doing this myself. I wasted no time running after the dragon, having to navigate all around the nether just to keep up. But eventually, she landed high up in her den, across a lake of lava? I had no choice but to continue, leaping between the netherrack as I went. But then, something hit me back from beneath the lava. Ah!
You thought you could escape us?
I looked up to see the same modded blazes from the Emerald Temple. I beat you once. Don't think I won't do it again. However, a lot more of them rose up from the lake. Just kidding? On days 53 to 56, I continued to leap between the rocks as the blazes shot up at me with everything they had. I fought off a few with my abilities, but it felt like the more I took down, more would just spawn from below. Oh, come on! I was finally getting closer to the dragon's den until one of their blasts came right at me. Whoa! I dodged, causing it to shoot into the den. That's not good.
Who dare disturbs my slumber?
Wait, I can explain. It's this.
Shut it, you stupid torch!
The dragon began to blast the blazes out of the sky, allowing me to sneak up to its den. Once there, I saw the next modded relic on the other side of the cave. Okay, I just have to sneak towards it and...
What do you think you're doing?
She began to focus her attacks on me, blasting into me with deadly flames. Ah! I fought back with all my abilities, trying to use my speed to my advantage. I ran in and struck her with a powerful slash, making her extremely weak.
Ah! No, No dweller should be that strong.
That's your fault for underestimating me. I went in for a final blow when suddenly a powerful bolt of lightning launched me back. Ah! And there, appearing in between us, was Herobrine?
I've let you run around long enough playing hero, Dweller. This ends now!
He turned around and blasted the dragon with a strange attack, causing her to grow stronger? You've got to be kidding me! On days 57 to 59, I was now face to face with an empowered, modded dragon. She recklessly charged forward, shoving me back with its fire and almost knocking me into the lava. I quickly dashed out of the way though, and tried to gain some space to fight back. But no matter what I did, she would just fly in and hit me again. I was knocked down to low hearts and knew that if I was hit again, I would be done for. I have to think of something. Quick! I looked over and saw that Herobrine was just watching the battle unfold.
This is what you get for trying to overpower me.
Oh yeah? Hey, overgrown lizard, come get me! My words enraged the dragon as she charged in for another attack. But this time, I ran towards Herobrine and dashed out of the way at the last second.
Wait, what are you?
The dragon slammed into the cave wall, causing it to collapse as rubble flew down and crushed both her and Herobrine. Yes! Because of this, I was easily able to walk over and grab the lost relic. As my body upgraded once again, I gained 5 more hearts and grew monstrous wings. All right.
I won't allow this.
Herobrine, please! I don't want to hurt you. Those players are gonna destroy us all if we don't work together. I know us dwellers have never done this before. We're known as the scary mobs. But if we don't all unite now, all of us will be wiped out from this world. What do you say?
You're right. I'm sorry. I will help you destroy the MPO.
On days 60 to 63, I made it back to my base in the overworld with Herobrine. Once there, I saw that the Cuckoo Clock Dweller had already made a home. I made sure to take some time to make Herobrine a room as well. And then I went over and placed the 5th relic on his pedestal. Just one more to go. I just hope it'll be enough to take down the modded players.
You're going to need the strongest of the relics against them.
Wait, you know where it is?
I do, but you're not gonna like it.
I left the base and followed Herobrine's directions to the base of a large mountain. And there, at its peak, was the final lost modded relic. I'm almost there, brother. I began to dash up into the air. But just then, a lightning bolt came crashing down right in front of me. Whoa! I quickly tried to fly higher, but the storm was too much and sent me crashing back down to the ground with another strike. I guess it's time for plan B. On days 64 to 68, I began to quickly move up the mountain, staying lower to the ground. It was much easier to see the strikes of lightning coming from above, but the storm was relentless. I kept pushing forward further up the mountain path, until eventually coming to an overhang, where I was safe. Just a little bit longer to go. But as I went to dash out of safety, I saw a creeper in the path. I'm not scared of you. But as I said this, a bolt struck the creeper, causing it to be charged. No. It ran up and sent out a massive explosion, sending me flying back. I then looked around and saw that multiple other ones were making their way towards me. I flew forward, slashing at them as I went, keeping me out of their blast radius. Stay out of my way! Finally, I made it to the peak of the storming mountain, and there waiting for me was the relic. However, the creepers were still closing in, and before I could grab it, another bolt struck the item. Its electricity shot out, combining it with the nearby creepers to form a giant one. It instantly let out a blast that flung me back, nearly taking me out in a single hit. It was about to rush up for another explosion, but thankfully, I was hit back into cover.
Shush!
What the? I turned around to see that another dweller was the one who saved me. Why did you?
I said, shush! We've got to sneak away before that thing catches on. Run!
On days 69 to 73, the giant creeper continued to let out deadly explosions as the Palehound and I made a break for it. We charged down the mountain, dodging the exploding attacks as we went. Wait, I can't leave. I need to...
You really want to stay with that nuke with the short fuse? We can think of a plan after we get to safety.
Just then, another attack exploded in front of us, causing the path to be destroyed. Hold on. Without hesitation, I picked up the other dweller and flew us across the gap. From there, we were finally able to escape the giant creeper as the Palehound led me to his hideout in the mountain.
I don't know what you were thinking back there. That creeper is way too strong.
It's because it took the relic that I need. I won't be able to stop the modded player organization without it.
Don't get me started on those idiots. All right. If you really need to stop the creeper, then we have to get the one thing those walking time bombs are afraid of.
And what's that? The dweller led me away from the mountain, all the way to the entrance of a jungle biome?
A creeper's worst fear is a cat! Thankfully, those idiot players added a ton of mods, and one adds a ton of those little furballs in here.
So, how do we find one? Just then, I heard something in the trees and looked up to see... There!
Ah! Hurry! Don't let it get away!
On days 74 to 77, the Palehound and I rushed after the cat as it escaped from us into the jungle. It used its much smaller size to weave through the trees and avoid our sight. Where'd it go?
Hold on. This kind of hunting is my specialty.
He sniffed into the air, thankfully finding its scent.
This way!
We followed it until we burst through the tree line to see this part of the jungle was completely destroyed. What happened here? We carefully searched around until we saw the cat hiding under some rubble.
Gotcha!
Please don't take me. I just want to be left alone.
What? What are you talking about?
Those players came and took all of my kind. I barely escaped, and I won't be tamed like them.
She lunged out and slashed at me, pushing me back. Ow! She then tried to make a break for it, but the other dweller cut her off. Look, just listen. We're working to try and stop those modded players, and we can't do it without your help.
Really? I promise. I'll do anything to get back at those guys.
Perfect. Now we have a trap to set.
On days 78 to 80, all three of us made our way back to the base of the mountain. We spent some time to dig out the perfect pit trap for the creeper, and after, my friends went and hid nearby.
Now, you just need to draw him out, and then our feline friend here will do the rest.
All right, here goes nothing. I began to shoot out my abilities around the area, making sure to hit the foot of the mountain, sending rubble flying around. Would be a shame if a creeper snuck up on me right now.
Really? That's the best you got?
Well, what do you... But before I could finish my sentence, a loud, thunderous explosion shot out nearby, hitting me back. There, jumping out into the clearing, was the giant creeper. Now! The little cat jumped out from cover, right behind it.
Boo!
Because of this, the creeper began to freak out and slowly back up towards our trap. Come on, just a little further. But suddenly, a lightning bolt crashed down near the cat, sending them flying back. Oh no! I quickly leapt into action, flying around and then slashing into the creeper, pushing him into our trap. His weight crumbled the weak ground beneath him, making him fall into a pit. With this, the two of us were able to unleash the full power of our attacks, and with nowhere to run, we were finally able to take the creeper down. Finally! I went to grab the relic, but out of nowhere, the modded player organization burst into the area.
Seize that dweller!
On days 81 to 85, I got ready to fight as the MPO officer came charging in to attack. But before I could react, I was hit from behind by a claw. Because of this, the officers were able to unload attacks onto me, taking me down to low hearts. No! I then looked over as the Palehound threw the final relic at the MPO leader's feet.
There you go! One lost relic. And now you better keep your end of the deal. Leave my mountain home alone!
Oh, yes, about that. I lied. You're coming with us, too.
I watched as the player blasted him back with a powerful attack, nearly taking him down. What? I wanted to run over and help, but the other officers struck me again. And because of this, I passed out. I woke up and found myself inside of a cage in the modded player's base. No, this can't be happening. I tried to strike out of the bars, but my attacks barely left a scratch.
It's no use!
Huh? I turned around to see that the Pale Hound had been put in the cage with me. I can't believe you. You were working for the players?
I thought I made a deal to save my home. Clearly, I was wrong to trust them. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's just find a way out of here before someone notices. Attack with me. The Dweller walked up beside me, and together, we blasted at the bars. And with our combined strength, we burst through. Sweet. Now come on. The relic has to be around here somewhere. On days 86 to 90, we snuck around the player's base, making sure to hide from the wandering patrols of the officers. Stay close. We ran down the hall until coming across a window overlooking a ton of officers gathering around. And at the center was their leader.
All right, men. This is it. Soon, there will be no more mobs to stand in our way. Those stupid dwellers will be a thing of the past, and any other mobs will keep around for the funds! Now listen closely. We have one good chance to take this creature out. Once we zero in on their base, we'll destroy everything and everyone in our path. So, who's with me?
All the officers began to cheer as they spread out throughout the base to gather their weapons. Oh no, if they find the base, then all my friends are done for.
We won't let that happen. Wait, I sense something powerful. This way!
I followed after him to another room, and inside were a pair of officers guarding the final relic. There it is, but how do we get to it?
Let me work my magic, and then you can slide in and grab the relic.
Before I could question him, he rushed forward and began taunting them.
What the? Get back here!
They both rushed after the Dweller, leaving me an opening to the item. I ran up and grabbed it, causing my body to grow in strength one final time. I now had 35 hearts and a powerful static boom attack I could use at will. Awesome! But just then, the Pale Hound ran back into the room.
I couldn't shake them!
You both got out? Back in your cages!
On days 91 to 94, the officers came charging in to attack. But because of my new upgrade, I let out a powerful blast that shocked their suits.
What is happening?
Come on, that won't stun them for long. We thankfully made it out of the player's base and rushed back to the Dweller hideout.
Oh, thank goodness you're back. Everyone thought the MPO had got you.
It's all right. They won't be able to stop me anymore. With that, I made sure to quickly build up a home for the Pale Hound in the base.
Whoa, thanks! I just don't feel like I deserved this. After all,
don't mention it. You did what you had to protect your home. I understand. I then went over and placed down the final relic on its stand, and because of this, the whole chamber began to shake as a hidden passageway opened up to a series of tunnels?
Whoa! These tunnels go all throughout the underground. We could pop up anywhere we wanted in the overworld.
Oh yeah? Then that gives me an idea. Everyone, it's time to win our world back. On days 95 to 99, I went up to the surface and found the modded players marching out to find our base.
Ha! Would you look at this? The monster came right to us to surrender.
Yeah, not gonna happen. I'm here to end your control over this world and take it back.
Oh yeah? You and what army?
As he said this, the ground shook as my Dweller friends came bursting out of the ground.
Surprise!
They began to slash into the officers and run away, pulling them in all different directions.
What the? Men, stay together!
I then used this opportunity to rush up and blast the leader with my new ability, stunning his mech.
Help!
I looked over and saw that multiple officers had cornered the villager dweller and were about to take him down. Hold on! I flew over, and with a combination of my abilities, I was able to stun and slash them down.
Stupid players.
I continued to fly around and help out my other friends as we took each of the officers down one by one.
Yeah, and stay down!
Good one, dude. Just then, I was blasted back by a powerful beam, sending me flying into the air.
You think that little trick would work on me? I will not lose to some stupid mods!
On day 100, I was finally face to face with the modded player leader as he charged up another powerful attack. I flew around his beam and started to fight back with all the abilities I'd gained along the way. I was clearly much stronger now and knew I had to do everything in my power to take him down, but he was just as determined to stop me.
This ends now!
Gah!
You stupid mods are just little monsters to fight for our entertainment. Nothing more, nothing less.
You're wrong. I had a home, a brother that you killed. I won't let you get away with this. He charged up another attack, but suddenly the ground below him began to crack as he fell inside.
Finish it!
I flew up directly above the hole and began to fire down slash after slash into him.
No! Wait! My mech!
In a large explosion, the leader's mech was destroyed, causing him to fall out into the open.
I don't understand. Our mods were better, stronger than you could ever be.
Looks like all your hard work was for nothing then. I slashed into the player one more time, finally taking him down for good. And with all the other players defeated in the world, us dwellers could now finally live in peace.